Milk Crate Marauder.
I want to welcome our announcer back after much negotiation. He is here. George Takei.
Yes.
Joins us. And you can always remember the name Takei. It is not Takai.
It is Takei, like okay.
Okay. George, welcome.
Good to be back. I've prepared a song for all of you. You sent me off with a song the last time, so here it is. I'm back again to visit with my friends. Howard Stern with all of your pranks. The lady quivers her witty words of wisdom. And cuddly muffin, sweet Artie Lang. Howard, you don't walk the straight and narrow. Truth with jokes and burps and strippers standing for the rights we hold so strong in the USA. Howard Stern, your rascal and our hero, dressed in drag or fartman suit, galactic hair on face uplifted nicely, the one and only Howard Stern. Wow. The one and only Howard Stern.
Well, let me,
Tony Award.
oh, my goodness.
Immediately I put it to music.
Believe it or not, Robin, that was a cappella.
Acapella.
Did you write, first of all, thank you for spending the time writing that song.
Well, I did it in the shower.
And secondly, did you create the music, or is
No,
it...
that's
Oh, no, you recognize it.
Sentimental Journey?
Yes.
Sentimental Journey.
That's what I thought it was. I don't want to insult anyone.
We needed another gay guy in here to recognize it.
Well, thank you, George. That was
Well,
great.
thank you for the song that you sent me off with.
You wrote that in the shower.
In the shower.
Was Brad in the shower with you when you wrote that?
Occasionally.
Yes. That's your
How
business.
many showers did it take?
Who can concentrate with Brad in the shower?
It's got to be rough to write a song and be in the shower with Brad at the same time. I
It
cannot
was a
do it.
collaborative act.
How are you?
Just great.
Everything going well?
It is going beautifully. And Howard, this past weekend, this Saturday,
I heard about this.
I had a distinct and unique honor.
Oh, really?
I accepted the Freedom of Speech Award, the 2006 Freedom of Speech Award from Talkers Magazine. And Michael Harrison had glowing, ringing words for you and what you stand for.
I like this guy, Michael Harrison. He has always, I see him on TV. I've never met the guy.
This is the guy from Talkers Magazine.
Talkers Magazine. And I read somewhere that you were accepting this award from me.
I did, because...
But I don't think they ever asked me to
Yeah,
accept
they
the
never
award.
asked you. They immediately went to George.
I think
Well,
they assumed I wouldn't do
they
it.
had some fears.
Oh, really?
They thought that perhaps you might decline. And so they wanted someone who they knew respected you for what you've done. You are a champion of the freedom of speech, guarantees of our First Amendment, and I was
really
more
not.
than happy.
Well,
Yes, you
whether
are.
you want to be or not.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm just trying to do my show.
That's right. And what
Right.
you do, what you do with your freedom of speech just resonates across. I mean, yesterday I saw a play, The Lieutenant of Inishmore.
Now, that's
As the
something
books
I'm
say.
never going to say.
It is a bloody
Anyone-
good show.
Yeah,
But
anyone
it's
else
a-
want to see that?
Anyone else see the Lieutenant of Inishmore? No?
It is a brilliant play,
George,
and it
Inishmore?
is a bloody play.
Inishmore.
Yeah.
Inishmore.
Inishmore.
And that would have been censored. That would have been censored if there weren't
Arnie.
people like you standing up for the freedom of speech.
George, first of all, George was asked by Talkers Magazine. Mike Harrison is a guy who always defends me and has championed my career.
And he's been giving out these awards for a few.
That's right. And I received this freedom of speech. Where was the award ceremony?
At the Embassy Suites Hotel downtown.
In Manhattan?
In Manhattan, and this is it.
Oh, look at it.
And when, George,
It's a handsome piece.
it actually is nice.
It's beautiful.
What
It's
is that thing on
It's
there?
an eagle.
Eagle.
Like the American eagle out of crystal.
Yes.
I might actually display that.
Why wouldn't you?
I think you should proudly display that.
Who else won the award? Just me?
Just you. Well, in other years, people like Al Franken or Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, I know. Rush Limbaugh was the first one to get it.
That's right.
See, I would be for silencing him.
That's right.
That's what I
And this
said.
is our democracy. There's Rush Limbaugh and you in the same category.
We're actually against freedom of speech now. We want them to shut down radio so they'll get us.
Yeah. The satellite can thrive.
I want to congratulate my president, who says he absolutely will sign that bill fining broadcasters $350,000 for every offense.
$325.
I applaud him. $325. I applaud him because that's going to drive more people to satellite radio.
Let's get that enacted as soon as possible.
We're not for freedom of speech. We're for us, George.
George, I don't mean to crush you, but I am now for censoring everyone but me.
Yeah.
You see.
Well, you have the right to say that as well.
Right.
He has always been for his own freedom of speech.
That's right. And you know what that does? Because he's got the guts to stand up for that, it helps all the other artists.
Unfortunately,
Because I am a self-centered asshole. We have freedom of speech today. Well, you know, George, I really didn't do a very good job as a champion of free speech. I was the most fined broadcaster in the history of broadcasting, and as you know, they ripped me a new asshole.
Well, you created a whole movement
That's right.
against you.
Yes.
But you fought for it.
I did fight.
You took a stand, and it's that guts, to take that stand, because so many people cave in.
Is this what your speech was? Did you make a speech in my honor?
I
we'd love
did.
to
How
have
long
heard
was
what
the
he
speech?
says.
It was about 20 minutes.
Oh, good. We're going to pass on listening to that.
Yes, please do. Please do.
I'd rather hear more about the Battle of Inishmore.
Did they
It's the
really?
lieutenant of Inishmore.
Did they tell you could speak for 20 minutes?
They asked me to speak for 20 minutes.
Wow.
Right.
To speak on the freedom of speech.
Did you make jokes, or was it just a straight...
Well, I made a few Star Trek jokes at the beginning, but, to me it's very important because I grew up. As a boy, I had no freedom at all.
Right.
I was in two
Japanese
American...
internment camps.
No, not Japanese. We were rounded up by our own government. They were American internment camps.
How much of the speech did you spend on your history and the internment camps?
I spent about 10 minutes of it on the internment
You did.
camps.
No, boy.
To contrast, the lack of freedom.
What's that, Arnie?
Wow, I was in an internment camp. My freedom was taken away. Wow.
That's nothing. My parents took my freedom away. They wouldn't let me drive my own car till...
You were in the Stern internment camp.
I had to drive my dad's Mercury Montego. The shame and embarrassment that came with that? God's sakes, I was
I
a
can
young man.
imagine.
I need a little sports coupe.
But the humiliation of it all.
No, I understand. I know how rough your life
of
was.
George to
That was nice
come
of
on.
you.
Well, I was a child then, so I talked about how it became normal for me to line up 3 times a day to eat in a mess hall. It became normal for me to go to school in a black tar paper barrack and, would you believe, pledge allegiance to the flag with the view of the barbed wire fence and the sentry tower and the machine guns pointed at us.
I grew up in a town called Roosevelt. We had no central air conditioning. I don't know if that means anything to you. And my sister and I had to share one television set. We were not allowed to watch separate shows, even though she was 4 years older than me.
I didn't have cable till 1980.
Yeah. You want to talk about tough. Oh, this guy had cable.
My heart
no cable. Everyone in the neighborhood had cable but Artie.
It's true.
For an entire year, we didn't even have television.
That's right. Wow, there you go.
Really? They didn't have radio. They were verboten.
Wow.
I couldn't listen to The Shadow in the internment camp.
No, I know about your life. You know I do. And,
Yes, you certainly
know
do.
something about freedom and the lack of freedom.
He's a great man.
Thank you for accepting on my behalf.
It is my pleasure.
And I accept this award from you. And I congratulate myself.
Well, what is your speech now that you've gotten your award?
Well, they were very wise not to ask me to come. I have no speech. I would have gotten up there and probably shown my rectum. You know how I quickly resort to that when I'm asked to speak in public.
As you'd be free to do.
Yes, George, I have a problem speaking in public. As comfortable as I am on the microphone here in
That's
the
hard to
studio,
believe.
I don't like getting up in front of people and speaking, so I usually pull my pants down and show my flabby ass. I probably would have been arrested at the Freedom of Speech Awards.
You were eloquent at your birthday party.
Thank you. And as were you. at my birthday party.
Well, it was very brief.
Well, listen, we are thrilled to have you here, to have George Takei, which rhymes with okay, joining us again.
It is great to be back.
I don't know how long or hard these negotiations were, but thank goodness.
Oh, no, actually, it wasn't very hard.
Really?
The last time I was in town, I had to go back because I had a very important, again, another federal commission.
Yes.
I serve on a bank board, and there's this commission called the Federal FDIC, Federal Deposit and Insurance Commission, and they're
You're on
very
a bank
strict.
board?
I'm on a bank board, and they are very strict about attendance, just plain attendance. I can be jet lagged and out of my wits, but as long as my body's there, then they're happy.
You should go loaded.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Fuck this meeting.
Well, sometimes
Arnie, would you like to join me on the board?
I'm drunk. You want me here? Fuck off. I'll be in the back blowing Brad. I'm here.
No, I don't want you on that board.
You wanted me here, FDIC homos.
my butt is here.
I'll be in the back talking to Brad about the city of Innismore.
Will you be attending more theater this week while you're here?
Oh, yes, I will.
You rascal.
What qualified you to be on this board? Is it your military experience with the Federation, or
The Federation?
Yes, the Federation.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the stocks I own in it.
Yeah, good for
You're
you.
a major stockholder in it.
I am.
He's a rich guy.
Nice.
I didn't know you had that kind of money.
Well, we
Well, you were
founded
negotiating it,
We
but you
started a very small bank called Golden Security,
Oh.
and
What a great story.
It's been about a little over 20 years now, and we've grown and we've become very successful.
You're a multimillionaire.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
You own a bank?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not a multimillionaire?
Well, I guess I am.
So modest.
From that camp, that internment camp, to owning a bank. I mean, that's a great
Only in
American
America.
story, right?
You
Only
really
in
rose.
America.
You rose up from nothing, and you're here now.
You know what I was...
I'm here now, so where am I?
I also wanted to know, did you get another little doggy?
No, I still remember Ren, and it's pretty... Her little ash box is right there in our bedroom.
Really?
Yeah.
See that, Artie? You're afraid to pet dogs, and you have a terrible phobia about them, and George loves animals so much that he sleeps with the ashes of Lorraine LeBlanc.
I would pet the ash box.
That you don't mind. Richard, what is
Nothing
Richard,
is reverent here, is it?
Nothing.
There's so much...
Especially Lorraine, boy.
Richard Christie, who was totally drunk on
It's so
Friday.
odd seeing you sober.
When we last saw him, he was licking the thermometer out of Sal's asshole.
goodness.
French kissing.
Goodness.
By the way, George, is your gaydar going off when you take a look at Richard Christie at all?
There is something about him, isn't there?
Yeah. What was that? You wanted to make out with Sal? These guys put
Well, you
thermometers...
guys dared me to do it, so when I get a dare, I have to do it.
I mean, he's instant gay, just had booze.
George, let me tell you what happened.
You're the more not so hairy version of Artie.
Not as bearish.
George, let me tell you what happened. We had a roast, and Richard...
Yes, I know.
He had a lot to drink, and at first... Sal and Richard were kissing one another.
What the fuck?
Then they shoved each other's heads in the toilet bowl.
Yes, I heard about that.
Then they pulled their pants down. Robin inserted things in their anus, and they licked each other's thermometers with anus on. Essentially.
I just got to tell Joe, it's fun to be gay. I had fun.
You would know.
being gay that night.
I mean, what they were doing sounded like a weekend at George's house. So,
Brad called them homo.
Yeah, Brad couldn't believe how gay you were.
George, I'm the biggest George fan in the world, and I came up to say hi to him this morning, and he said the funniest thing. I said, we're going to have a great time this week, and I said, you've been here once, so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. You busted your cherry. And he goes, not only has my cherry been busted, it's been ripped wide open.
No one needs to know about that.
And he was talking about he's been here once, so he kind of knows what to expect now.
Well, George,
My virginity is gone.
in honor of your visit, would you like to do an announce to start the show
yes,
off?
well, let's do that.
So, okay, here he is. George Takei is back, everyone. Everyone is excited to see him. I know that. I know I am.
Me too.
Here's George.
The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Howard Stern radio show. Its 5-year mission to seek out new women to ride the Sibian while kissing their sisters. To boldly talk about what people want to hear, while Sal and Richard try very gay things in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain of the starship in insanity, Howard Stern.
Oh, well done. Thank you. Well, Friday's show, or Thursday night show, however you want to look at it, was a wild show.
What was the reaction to that? We had a great time doing it. How did people respond?
People loved it. Everywhere I went, people were, hey, the Artie roast. And, again, with you never know who's listening. I was over at Ben's Deli last night, and an older woman comes up to me and she says, I love the roast.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Howard, I got calls literally from all over the country, from people in and out of show business, and they said the best thing they ever heard.
It really was a great roast, and the reason the roast is so great, in my opinion, is because there's no holds barred, there's no censorship, there's there was no editing. Whatever came out, and that was it. I even read some comments on the Stern Fan Network. Somebody thought I had edited something during someone's set. There was no button hit. I don't know what they were talking about. Maybe
what
sometimes
were they saying?
I don't know. But overall, everybody seemed to like it. They graded it A+. A lot of people and felt that this was the best roast yet, and some of the best radio they've heard. And I agree. Artie was a good sport. Took a lot of jokes, even about his father, George.
Absolutely.
I know, I heard of it.
Yes, his father had a horrible accident where he was paralyzed. He was a quadriplegic, and people still joked about that.
They did not care.
Did you know that, George?
There is no death here.
Which people won't think.
I got a call. Nick had to leave. Because if I call her, I'm going to get involved, and I just didn't. I said, maybe she'll call back, and she didn't. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I doubt anything's going to happen unless I get into therapy, and instead I'm going to Vegas.
3 weeks later, you're still talking about her.
Oh, sure. I'll be talking about her until, when I get the war Saturday.
No, I think you will eventually go into therapy. And I'm sure that you will get back together again.
Well, that's very nice.
I agree with George.
Do you really?
I don't know that you'll get back together, but I believe you will go into therapy.
Why do you say that?
Because I've seen you at your lowest, and right now...
And my widest.
I know when you're unhappy, and you do have questions that you need answered. There are things you need to deal with. I don't know what they are. I'm not you.
So you're thinking he's going to go into therapy soon?
Yeah, I do. I believe that.
I don't think it'll be soon.
Tony Soprano's Italian.
I know. I look at him, I guess, and I think therapy's helping Tony Soprano at all.
I think Artie's not ready right now. He's just not ready. But
And I don't think he's going to be ready until maybe 60.
Tony Soprano was in therapy for, 5 years, and he was in upstate New York blowing his cousin's head off.
But he did it without all the grief. You know what I mean? He feels good about it. He didn't do a neurotic kind of rub out.
In honor of the Tonys, though, it's... My grandmother gave me this. My mother gave me this as well. Me and another great Artie father story. Summer of '69. Jersey Shore, me, my old man, and Frankie Valli.
Let me see.
You can put it on the website.
Frankie Valli.
It's another indication of how crazy my father was.
That's your father?
That's my father, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
My old man was a movie star.
He was a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's 26 years old there, too. But
and that's you with blonde hair?
That's me. I was a little blonde, And that's Frankie Valli. So we're at a motel at the Jersey Shore.
Like Frankie Valli's attracted to your dad.
Doesn't he look a little fruity?
Yeah, he does.
Thank God my mother was taking that picture.
Yeah.
But,
what was Frankie Valli just doing sitting there?
Well, what happened was he was at I guess it might have been one of their lower points in their time, because there was a little motel at the Jersey Shore, and he happened to be there because he was performing in Wildwood, New Jersey.
He's wearing little shorts. But so's your old man.
My father dukes the guy about $10 and finds out what room he's in. So the door is open to Frankie Valli's room. So my mother is like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because my father was nuts. So he wants to meet him because my mother was a huge fan. So he lets me crawl into Frankie Valli's room. I crawl in there. So I'm in there for like 10 minutes. Nothing's happening. My mother goes, well, we just got to do something. So my father goes, this is the way we're going to meet him. So he knocks on the door, walks in, and Frankie Valli's got me up on his bathroom sink, and I'm shaving with him. He took me in, he's like saying, you all right? Where are your parents? And he said, oh, I'm sorry, that's my kid. My father said he got away from us. I'm sorry. And we got tickets to his concert, and my first concert ever was the Four Seasons.
This picture makes me sad.
Why? It makes me very sad. Yeah.
I feel like crying looking at this picture.
Isn't it sad? I know. I figure you can put it on the website. Your father loves you so much. He's holding you, and
look
he's
at a little
young.
Arnie leg.
Who knew he was going to eventually become paralyzed?
I know. That's my old man with his son. He was like, well, when I was born,
like a guy who would hang out with us.
Oh God, Howard, you and him would be the best of friends at stores and stuff.
Big deal.
Hey, George. Artie's father was quite a looker.
Watch it, George.
No, seriously, right?
He was
guy?
hot. He's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And, my gaydar tells me something about him.
I know what you mean.
Give me that fucking picture.
Those hot pants Artie's father's wearing.
I know those pants. 1969.
He's wearing Daisy Dukes.
Okay, he's shirtless with hot pants.
Kind of sure.
And he's very sensitive. I mean, look at that. It is really touching.
This was probably the first time I ever played catch.
What did you... Anyway. Hey, George, what have you been doing any Star Trek conventions or anything?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is would you believe this is the 40th anniversary of the Star Trek phenomenon?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
1966.
Wow.
And there are conventions galore.
So who's been showing up? You, Uhura?
Oh, all of us. Oh,
not
we lost
Shatner.
2 of our company.
Yeah, but Shatner doesn't show up.
Oh, yeah, he shows up, too.
He does?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, the money must be astronomical if that guy's getting out of bed.
Well, I mean, I was in Frankfurt, Germany 2 weeks ago, and there were over 2,000 people that gathered from throughout Europe. Well, as a matter of fact,
like rock stars.
Yeah, right. It was incredible.
Shatner's price go up since he's got the hit show with...
I don't know what he gets, but
does it annoy the shit out of you that he's got a hit show?
Well, that's the way it's always been. So, we just...
Is Nimoy showing up?
Oh, yes.
George has a bank, though.
I don't care. I know for George, he just doesn't like Shatner, and I got to tell you something. For George, to see Shatner back on top in television with that Denny Lane character, you probably sit there and go, if you're going to be honest, Denny Crane, you probably sit there and go, Denny Lane was in Wings. You probably sit there and go, shit, fuck, don't they give me a job like
Boston Legal. That he is not acting in it. That is Bill Shatner. On Star Trek, he acted.
Right.
He acted Captain Kirk.
Now, didn't I say that to Bill Shatner when he was here last? I said, I don't think you should have won an Emmy because you're not acting.
Right.
He's Denny Crane. Bill Shatner is Denny Crane.
That's him.
He just rolls out of bed and comes as
he has to memorize lines and things like that.
Oh, no, I'm sure those lines are in him. They just come out. And I'm sure a lot of it is pretty much
So what happens? When you go to the Star Trek convention and Shatner's there, do you talk to each other at all, or is it just he on his high horse?
We've been doing, Star Trek conventions and Star Trek movies and Star Trek TV series.
But you have to interact, don't you, at the convention?
We're civil to each other. We're professional,
But is there like a 2-group kind of thing? There's Shatner and Nimoy over there, and then the rest of you in another room?
That is true. But then, I kind of feel... sad for Bill, because Leonard's a good guy. Leonard gets down with us, but he's kind of isolated,
right?
By himself. And
is that right?
There's a kind of an air of
he's a smug arrogance. He's a Vulcan.
And a sadness about
him.
He's
a Vulcan.
Oh no, Vulcans are great guys.
Yeah,
I enjoy Vulcans.
How many Vulcans have you had? But Nimoy is aloof.
No, he said Nimoy gets down.
Is very. I mean, he's in his way. In his way, he loves to talk politics, and we, talk politics.
What's he, a Republican?
No, he's a very liberal Democrat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We campaigned together.
Right.
So let me ask you something. Would Nimoy join you for dinner?
I've had dinners with Leonard. But, the people I've had over at our house are people like Jimmy Doohan, who's passed. He used to be my favorite drinking buddy.
Yeah.
But Walter Koenig, Nichelle Nichols. Nichelle was over, month and a half ago for a party we had.
Right.
And she's a wonderful party.
So Leonard Nimoy is a real ultra-liberal, too.
Oh, well, the ultra-liberal seems to color it, but, he's a down-to-earth, realistic, rational, and very tolerant guy.
No, it sounds like he's gay, too. I don't know.
No, he's got a beautiful, lovely marriage with Susan, and he's a very generous philanthropist.
Yes.
Can't get it out.
But wait a second. So Nimoy's a good dude, even though there's some sadness you sense, maybe?
About Bill.
Oh, this is all Bill. Okay, I got confused.
Because he's so isolated.
Right. You feel bad for him because he can't mix it up with everyone and enjoy everyone.
That's right. I mean, here, we've been together for 40 years. I mean, associated together for 40 years. And, I've enjoyed a wonderful, rich friendship with all the other people, and I really miss Jimmy Doohan because he was a great guy.
But, I go to dinner once in a while with Shatner, and he's so gracious and fun-loving and all that. Is that because he's just kissing my ass because he thinks I can do something?
You're an A-list celebrity now.
You feel he's using
when he's on the set,
yes,
it's got to all revolve around him. He is supremely self-possessed. Everything is and
you don't see him talking to me and Benji, do you?
Right. He is supremely self-possessed.
Self-possessed. And, if the director's setting up a shot with Arnie, and then Bill has a line, and it goes over to Bill, he'll whisper with the director, and very quickly the shot is on Bill, and you're an off-camera line.
Wow. You just hear your voice.
That's right, off-camera.
Will he hang around to do off-camera lines for other actors? No, right? Okay, I get it.
Do you know Bill?
No, I don't.
You're telling me when you're doing your lines, Bill will leave and you have to do it to
the script supervisor does it.
You are kidding. That is rude.
A lot of actors did. The great Jack Warden, who played my father in Dirty Work. Jack Warden, a legend who was like 80 at the time, stuck around. Squeezed in by the camera.
You always do that.
Yeah, he's a professional actor.
Some guys don't. I've seen a lot of people who don't.
You give that to your fellow actor.
Tom Cruise left for mine.
Oh, you work with Tom Cruise?
I did. I got cut out. I did a scene in Jerry Maguire that got cut out, but when it came down for mine, I was reading to a fucking production assistant. I was sitting there like, okay.
Didn't they have a script supervisor?
Yeah, but they thought a PA do it.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
They knew they were cutting you out.
The supervisor wouldn't lower himself or herself to do it with you.
So, George, when Shatner's around at the convention and stuff, does Nimoy, when he's around, is Nimoy one way with Shatner and then treats you a different way?
Oh, no. No, I mean, they're usually presented together.
Yes.
As a duo,
That's uncomfortable.
And then the rest of us appear.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, they're kept out until those two are finished.
It's somewhat insulting.
It is. It is.
Absolutely.
But, the truth is, it was a trio. Bones, and Spock, and Kirk. I mean, there was that triumvirate there.
Right.
And then there were the
but out of respect
next to the bananas.
Out of respect to the gang, you embrace everyone. You say, it's a Star Trek convention. Hello, everyone. We're all here together. We were all on the Star Trek together.
That's right. You were a crew of a ship.
We worked together,
Aren't you all the same rank now anyway? You're
I'm a captain.
Right.
At long last.
It's like
25 years at that damn helm console.
So what's the so you go to this thing and you clean up a couple of bucks. It's a nice gig.
It's a good gig. Yeah.
And what do you do?
You don't have to memorize lines. You
answer questions. Do you mingle?
You know what these people want to know about Star Trek? Do you know the answers to the questions?
Oh yeah.
They throw out.
I go with my consultants. If I get a very esoteric Star Trek question, I say, all right, consultants, who out there knows the answer to that?
What is the toughest question? What is the question that stumps you? What is the toughest question?
When they start asking you technical things. How come, when you went from Starbase 14 to Alpha Ceti 2, how come it took you however long it took you when you were going only at warp 3? You should be going at warp 9,
Do you tell these fuckers to get laid? Or do you just, is there any time you blow up
Bill
here's money for a whore.
Bill said, get a life,
You gotta like that.
He knows how to bite the hand that feeds him.
Right.
And he gets fewer invitations to Star Trek conventions.
Right. Right.
But
any cruises? Anything exciting
on the
no
horizon?
cruises.
Right.
There's your favorite city, Las Vegas. There's a convention there, and the big one, on the 40th birthday of Star Trek, which is September 8th. There's a huge convention in Seattle, Washington.
Why Seattle?
Because they have the Sci-Fi Museum there.
I see.
What's his name? Paul Allen.
I see.
He's the one that.
That's a big payday for the whole. Will Shatner show up for that and everyone?
I think he'll be there.
And what are the most amount of words you and Shatner exchange? Do you shake hands when you see each other?
Yeah,
you do.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
And then does he say, "I'm fine," and how are you?
He'll smile and nod.
He says, "Hello, Fruity."
He won't. You mean he'll smile and nod, but he won't have a conversation with you?
No.
He's angry with you.
Well, I'm very candid about him, and
Is he conversing with others?
No, he doesn't. No,
See, he's not talking to any of them.
He's not conversing with anyone.
No.
George, my assistant will take your info.
Wow, isn't that so uncomfortable?
Yeah. And then Walter and Nichelle and Leonard.
Nothing.
We talk to each other, and
Jesus, but nothing from him.
No, but that's the way it's been all this time.
Wow,
the
he's
way it's
angry.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
He's
well,
better
of course,
than you.
we've been talking like this too. So that there's a little thing in the air.
Okay, all right.
He always denies that he feels any animosity when he's here. He just says,
it's when but it comes over from when we've been working.
Right.
And all the little tricks that he's played, it eventually piles up, And,
it's hard to forgive,
Well, you must be, the one thing you can say is you've stayed in shape and he hasn't.
Yeah, you look terrific. You really do look good.
There's a stink in the air.
I invite you to come walking with me so you can look terrific too.
Is that what you do? You walk? You're a walker?
Well, no. I used to run marathons.
Yes.
But with the time, you get wisdom. And so I jog, walk. Right. I'm reaching
You're
a
in
certain
good shape.
point.
Yes. All right. Well, anyway, George Takei is here.
Yeah.
And everyone is excited about it. Let me say hello to a couple of people. We do have to take breaks every once in a while. Bobby, you're on the air in Springfield, Illinois.
Hi, Howard. How are you?
Hi, Bobby.
I just want to say it's really nice to have George back on the air.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
It was a long time coming. We should have seen you and heard you way before now.
Come to one of our Star Trek conventions.
Go torture yourself.
That's a big no.
I didn't hear her jump on that invitation.
Well, she didn't want to hear you that much.
She doesn't want to get gang raped by geeks. Imagine if an actual hot chick showed up at a Star Trek convention.
Paul Allen was a geek, and look where he is.
I know. He's got
Bill
2
Gates was a
billion.
geek.
That's
He
true.
still is, I think.
Geek love is, in other words, could be a profitable thing.
It certainly can.
Yes.
You can
Bobby-
build a sci-fi museum.
That's absolutely true. Bobby, go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Good morning, everybody. What's happening? Welcome to Tuesday, the Howard Stern Show. Whoever thought we would have moved to... really, who would have thought we would have taken the plunge? For real. When that day when I was on Testicle Radio and I made the announcement that we were going to radio, who would have really believed it? And here it is 6 months in, and we're going strong. And look who's joining us today, George Takei. Yes, I made a blunder yesterday.
I don't know how you could have done that.
At one point in the show, I wasn't thinking, and I said Takei, and that is not right.
How could you do that?
I know. I was embarrassed, but the name is George Takei.
I have no objections to Takei, because you do know what that means, don't you?
Yes.
It means
big penis.
Expensive.
Expensive.
In Japanese.
Expensive penis.
You told me that, yes.
Are you interested, Robin?
Yes, she is.
There always is a price.
By the way, in case you missed it yesterday, George Takei did a beautiful song in honor of him coming here.
Yes.
Taking the liberty to put some music on it here with boys back in the, Richard was working very hard on this to make sure that George had a musical accompaniment.
All right.
So I would like to share that with you right now, if you don't mind, George.
Not at all. I'm back again to visit with my friends. Howard Stern with all of your pranks. The lady quivers, their witty words of wisdom, and cuddly muffins, sweet Arnie Land. Howard, you don't walk the straight and narrow. Truth is jokes and birds and strippers standing for the rights. We hold so strong in the USA. Howard Stern, you rascal and our hero, dressed in drag or fartman suit. Galactic hair on face uplifted nicely. The one and only Howard Stern. The one and only Howard Stern.
Wow.
That sounds great. It's terrific.
I tell you, when you add music to it, it really can turn your stomach.
It lives.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come out with a CD.
I like the line, hair on face afflicted nicely.
What?
Who is that for? You?
Uplifted.
Uplifted.
No. Oh, I thought you said on face of lift. I don't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Uplifted
Articulate.
nicely.
I gotta articulate.
On face of lifted nicely.
Uplifted.
Uplifted. Uplifted.
Sorry.
You are the Japanese Sinatra.
I am, Emma. Well, that was without rehearsing.
Yeah.
You see this T-shirt I'm wearing?
Yes.
The Breakup.
Yes.
I was at Central Park yesterday, waiting and waiting and waiting.
Oh,
you know
no.
Who are you waiting for? Remind the audience.
Well, let me remind you of that scene from the movie Breakup.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston bought a ticket to a concert for Vincent Vaughn. She was there. You remember that scene, Arnie?
I do, actually.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, you do know how I felt then.
Well,
You felt like Jennifer Aniston?
you felt like a pretty girl in a dress? Artie was at the buffet. He could not make it.
I told you. I specifically said I had something to do.
Nevertheless,
Unfortunately, I think I committed
still
to
hoped.
What is that, Artie?
I think I committed to today, unfortunately.
Oh, did you? Are you guys going to go walking together in Central Park?
Well,
Do we have a date?
Well, I agreed to do it at the same time, but at separate parts.
He's going to be at another party.
He wanted to get me into the brambles of the rambles, and then no way am I going to do that.
You would not cheat on Brad.
No.
Not even for Artie Lang.
Not even for Artie.
Well, he's going to get a hot guy if he's going to risk that.
Well, I think you're hot.
No, thanks.
I mean, heat hot.
If it wasn't for Brad, okay, be honest now.
Yes.
Would you consider doing Artie if Artie was inclined to do it? Would he ever be your type?
Let me give it some thought.
All right.
You don't want to jump at this right away.
I can't get homeless gay guys, much less one that owns a bank.
Would you you probably wouldn't be with him because he won't go into therapy, right?
You know, that would be a requirement. That would be a requirement.
Everybody's nagging.
You qualify?
Whether he goes straight or gay, he's got to go in.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine? That must be even worse than the food is nagging.
Oh, that's a terrible thing.
I can recommend one. As a matter of fact, Brad got me to go to one.
He did.
Very early in our relationship.
He insisted?
He insisted.
Yes.
And I resisted.
Why? What was the matter? What was going on with you?
You know, it was so long ago, but, you know, Brad is an orderly guy. You know,
Right.
Everything's got to be just right. And he drove me up the wall. We used to have fights after fights. You know, I mean, even when we were traveling, you know, wonderful places. We were at the Savoy in London, and we had one of our great big fights there.
Because you were messy and disorganized.
He drove me up the wall.
Right.
Well, anal Annie, yeah. Anal Annie.
Anal Annie, you know, usually with a gay couple, you hear anal Annie, you think something may be different. But, you understand?
In every sense of that word.
Right, but he was anal Annie.
He was.
Was he anal even sexually? That he likes anal?
No.
The fact that you would come on the Stern Show and say anal Annie and think we would take it the other way.
See how naive
That's the type of naive that I just love. It's the best.
So you had these huge fights, getting back to why you went into therapy.
That's right.
And he insisted that you go into therapy, so you could tolerate him being a different person than you?
You know, you finally come to realize what's really important. I mean...
Cock.
What? What?
Cock.
A doodle-doo.
Right.
You know, it's really compromise. You really, you have to... what is really important in your life, and you consider that with the things that drive you up the wall.
I think what you're saying, George, is that if Artie's ex-girlfriend Dana, who we didn't know until yesterday, has been broken up with for 3 weeks, if he could have just compromised on a few issues, and it wouldn't have seemed being such a big deal, maybe the therapist could have helped him, and then he would have gotten the vagina.
I think so.
Well, let me ask you something, George.
Poor Artie, just sitting here.
It's like being on The View. It really is.
Morning after morning. I feel for you.
But wait a minute. I want to ask a question. You went into therapy because you loved Brad enough to want the relationship to survive.
Well, you know, the other part that
you want to go to jail for killing him.
Well, that was part of it, too.
Yeah.
But the other part of it was...
Anal Annie wouldn't have survived a day in jail.
No. Not with that nickname.
Oh, what about poor Brad?
Anal Annie, I'm Oral Jerome. Get over here.
The other flip side of that is you think of, him out of your life.
Right.
And then you think, do I really want that too?
Right.
And so you learn to, put everything in a larger context.
Can you do that, Artie? I mean, you would rather just see Dana
Artie, have you thought of Dana not being in your life?
Do you want that too?
Yeah.
Well, if I could meet Anal Annie and we could get some sort of
I think
in this context.
I think Artie is envisioning a very active sex life and a lot of fun coming up, and maybe he needs to get out and do that. Let's see what happens. Maybe the new Artie.
New puss.
Sexual Artie.
As opposed to the old puss.
Oral Artie.
A life without.
Yeah.
Right.
Can be liberating, too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You may find your Annie.
Let's hope it's a chick named Annie.
Right. All right. A lot of reaction to the return of Mr. George Takei.
Oh, good, I bet.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought George Takei back. He is the best, very funny. Here's another one. I love George Takei. Here's another one. Thanks for bringing George back. Please make every effort to make him a full-time part of the show. He's too good to pass up. Oh, I'm enjoying this music.
Oh, my.
There's another one. It's so awesome to hear George again. He really adds a great voice to the show. Today he sounds like he's at home, throwing in a bunch of funny jokes and just going with it. Keep him coming back. So there you go.
Well, that's nice to be welcomed back like that with those warm words.
That's right. Here's one that was an observation. Let me get this straight. George's boyfriend is freaked out about germs, but he is not freaked out about putting his dick in another man's ass. Or taking a dick in his ass. But as you've described in your sex life, that's not your thing anyway, anal, right?
Right.
Right. So you would be wrong.
Is that a special occasion kind of sex, or do you just never go there?
It's got to be an occasion.
Well, you know that line from Star Trek, boldly go where no man has gone before.
I noticed that it's tough for George to sit down around his birthday.
Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible.
With regard to, as long as
I like that one.
You would.
And by the way, I should mention, George said some interesting things yesterday that a lot of people didn't miss, and I do want to replay them. These are the highlights. I asked George about Osama bin Laden. Here's what he said.
Osama bin Laden's very talented, but no, I'm not in love with him. No, he's a little weird.
Right, and then you said this.
Osama bin Laden's very sexy.
Which shocked everyone, and then you said this.
Osama bin Laden's a genius. Osama bin Laden's a nice guy, and we've had him over for dinner.
I am shocked. Yes, I can't believe what you said. And here's a few other things I'll let you listen to that George said about Osama.
I've had sex with Osama bin Laden before Brad.
Before Brad, of course.
Osama bin Laden is actually very shy.
The American...
We're such an expert.
Yeah, the American authorities just called. They want to put you back in the internment camp.
Osama bin Laden looks hot. I think that was when I was making reference to you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, I love Osama bin Laden. I think Osama bin Laden is macho.
Well, those were just a few of the
Oh, he's macho. He's probably an alpha male. You're right.
Those were bombshells.
Yeah.
I am shocked.
I appreciated your honesty and thank you for it. Everyone, of course, loves this phone call. George Takei.
Yes.
Did such an amazing
Make
phone
me
call.
expensive. Go ahead.
George Takei's phone call is a winner. We played it yesterday, but I think it bears one more time repeating.
Hello?
Bill, how have you been?
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Well, have you heard anything about it yet?
Who is this?
George Takei here. How have you been?
I don't believe I know you.
I grew up in Arkansas.
You did? Well,
Yes.
so did I. But I don't believe I know you.
I circled an ad here in the paper that might interest you. Here, it says, 1, lengthy black teenager for sale.
Teenager for sale.
Yes.
Just a minute.
Oh, great. Can you excuse me while I dappled my wang with the latex?
Yeah.
You won't believe what I just heard.
What did you just hear?
I love lengthy black men.
Oh, you do?
Excuse me, but aren't you a grimy Mexican?
No, I'm just a hillbilly from Arkansas.
You had better be prepared to turn wet and messy.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, brother. You long sex to make me wet and messy.
Excuse me, but aren't you aroused?
Aroused? No, you pissing me off, motherfucker.
You seem to be aroused,
No, you pissing me off.
but I'm just a bit concerned about lengthy black teenagers.
You sound like a sick motherfucker.
Yes,
I'd like to have about 5 minutes alone with you.
you're pathetic.
I'd make you pathetic, you piece
I'll
of
show
shit.
you. I'll show you. I'm going to get that wang.
I bet you do.
I hate you.
I ain't got much damn use for you either.
That's crazy.
Crazy? You sound like you got a problem, brother. You ever read the Bible? The good Lord put a man to sleep and took a rib out of him for a walk. And if you like long, lengthy black men and you like, I bet you even like children, don't you?
Yes.
I'd give you $500 to meet you.
I want to get to know your lengthy black lollipop.
Oh, I got your black length lollipop.
I love your wang.
I bet you'd love my 12-gauge shotgun, too. Stuck up your ass and pull the trigger about 3 times.
I feel ridiculous.
No, you're ridiculous.
Now, don't get all worked up over it.
I'd like to put you out of your fucking misery.
I get a strong smell from my wang.
Well, take a fucking bath.
Good idea. One of my neighbors in Denver is a lengthy black teenager.
Well, you should have called him.
Excuse me, but aren't you a grimy Mexican?
No, I'm not no Mexican.
Oh, my God.
Now what?
Now, don't get all worked up over it.
About what?
My wang.
Your flag.
Yes.
The only things you mention in your language that since you've called that I care anything about is the word God. Everything else has been nasty, filthy, obscene, vile, perverted.
Let me think about this. I'll call you back in an hour.
Oh, I tell you what, now, I don't know how you come up with my motherfucking telephone number, but you hitting the wrong bases here.
George, when you make a phone call like that, do you get nervous during it, or you keep such a straight face when you do these kinds of things?
You know, I'm thinking of taking back that freedom of speech award I gave you yesterday.
The way you go in there and you talk to that hillbilly, I love it. I adore it. I really do.
It is almost criminal what you do with an innocent person's voice.
It's got to be against the law in some way.
Yeah, I think it is criminal, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You have ruined. I'm really nervous about going back to Arkansas. I do have friends there.
No, you really should not.
I should not. No.
Arkansas is off limits. Isn't all of Texas off limits to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still. There's a warrant for my arrest. Actually.
The entire state.
Well,
that's a big state.
Yes.
Talk about a comedy team. I'd love to see you in that.
As long as I was quoting from the email, and George, it is great to have you here. But let me go on to some other topics. I don't know if you can see this, Robin, but George Takei is in the tickle chair right now. I have him completely restrained and strapped in, and I'm going to tickle him right now. And we'll see how this works out. He's agreed to do it. George, just hold still, if you will. There you go. Come on. He loves it. My bony fingers. Yes, easy. All right, now stop. Stop. For Christ's sake. I'm one more tickle. Here you go. Is someone getting aroused? Wow. Yep. Yes, I believe he is aroused.
He really squirms around in that chair.
Yes, he does.
You're afraid to breathe on this show because everything's being recorded and being played back at you.
I'm going to tickle you now.
Now, are you just using your fingers? Yeah. Wow.
Now your feet.
Are you ticklish behind your knees?
Let me see if you're... what?
Erogenous zone.
Is it behind your knees?
No.
Where? I'm going to get you right now.
Above the navel.
Let me try that.
Above the navel.
Look at this. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Now, what about your thighs, George?
I'm not going there. He loves it. He loves this. Look at him. He's going wild. He's going wild. He's going wild. Good for you, George. All right. Anyway, now I'm spanking George.
Wow. You two are getting a little too close.
Oh, that's so good.
Now Arnie is going to tickle you with his penis. Are you ready?
All of a sudden, the whole show's gone gay.
Arnie, that's terrific.
Daddy.
Arnie, tickle him one more time. Tickle George with your penis one more time. Arnie's penis is magical.
And it's growing the more George laughs.
If Shirley's listening in Topeka, that was just a joke, Shirley.
They don't have to come after you.
Oh, the wrath of Shirley.
Arnie.
Poor Arnie.
Arnie, lift your stomach and tickle George with it. All right, Arnie, enough. All right, George, good.
Oh, I like that.
Okay. Everybody out of that tickle chair right now. Okay, where was I? George Takei, I played you the woman Shirley from God Hates Fags, and you were disturbed by it, as we all were. And you said, why can't someone just have a debate with her, a reasonable debate?
Not a screaming match.
Right. Let's see if
we're going to give you a chance.
I'm going to give you a chance.
Well, I will be open-minded and listen to her, and I hope she will similarly listen to me.
Forget that.
Shirley, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Now, Shirley, I watched an interview that you recently did on the WB with a reporter, or was it Fox News, Robin?
I think it was Fox.
It was Fox, right, Shirley?
Yes, Fox News. You're talking about Saturday?
Yes, and it became a big scream fest. And I didn't think it was particularly good television because you were yelling and she was yelling.
Exactly.
Now, I think sometimes because Shirley likes to keep going no matter what's happening.
She filibusters.
She does filibuster. So we have George Takei on this week. George, of course, I don't know if you're a Star Trek fan. Are you a Star Trek fan?
I used to be.
Okay, George, as you know.
You no longer are.
Well, I mean, who can watch TV at this hour? I have to spend all my time and energy trying to convince this nation that the destroyer of Sodom is not dead, and he's on the way, and he's raging mad. And so, who the heck? And don't forget, I have 11 children of my own to deal with. So, who's got time for TV except for as I sit here waiting for you to call? I've been watching a little Fox News.
She's saying being nuts takes up a lot of time.
Yes, you could always TiVo, you know.
TiVo, yes, actually, my husband TiVos.
But Shirley, so as you know, the great George Takei played Sulu. He recently came out of the closet. He announced that he was a gay man. He is my announcer on my show. He's someone I value dearly. He is a very, very gentle, kind man.
Did you say he's your announcer on your show?
Yes.
Oh, I really only have one curiosity at this hour. I mean, I don't mean any insult or anything by this, but aren't you getting a little elderly, George?
Who, me?
Yeah, are you?
Well, no, I don't feel elderly at all. I think
yes. How old are you?
Age-wise, I'm 69. Do you consider that elderly?
Did you say 69?
Yes.
Dr. Sulu is 69?
Mr. Sulu.
I'm the youngest of the Star Trek show that you claim to have enjoyed. Tell me, what was it about Star Trek that you enjoyed while you were watching it?
Let me say this. I don't understand why, when you're 69, why did you feel compelled to lay out before this nation a filthy thing like what you do to defy your God and bring his wrath upon the head of this nation?
All right, let me correct you on a few points. We did not, my partner and I did not come out last year. I spoke to the press for the first time last year, but we've been out with our families and our friends for a long, long time. All my Star Trek colleagues have been over to, well, with one exception, over to
William Shatner, you're referring to?
William Shatner.
Yes, he hasn't been to your home.
The others have been to my home, and we've entertained each other. We've been over to their home as a couple. You also said something about my God. I am a Buddhist. And so your God I respect, and I similarly expect you to respect my God if you are a respectful person.
No, hon, I don't respect a big fat lie.
Well, you're awfully disrespectful, aren't you?
A big lie takes you to hell. And you think you can just announce, I don't respect my Creator, I don't believe.
Not mine.
Yes, he's your creator. He's the one who created you. There's only one God, and he's going to look you in the face and repay you.
Will you let me get a word in edgewise?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. You seem to think that your God and your religion is something that you can impose on everybody. If you really understood what Star Trek was about, you might remember that phrase, infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
I knew that's what that was about. I knew that's what all that nonsense was. Let us...
You're not going to let me finish, are you?
...to try to shove filth...
Are you going to let me finish?
...down the throats of this nation.
Or is this going to be a one-way diatribe?
No, I'm just going to comment as we go, if you don't mind.
Well, at least allow me to finish my point.
Okay, go ahead now.
All right. In this country, the United States, we have many, many people. This is the most diverse country in the world, not just ethnically, not just culturally, but religiously and also in terms of ideas. And in a diverse country, we need to respect each other and their beliefs. Otherwise, you have absolute chaos. And you seem to think that your beliefs, your God, your religion has to be imposed on everybody. That is un-American.
That's my job. I didn't tell you. What do you mean it's un-American? It is American. That's why we have a First Amendment.
No, let me correct you there.
Well, will you let me talk a minute?
All right.
I listen to you. Here's the deal. It's real simple, and it's real easy, and it's real short. Fear God. Keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
I've gotten your point.
God will bring every work into judgment.
You weren't listening to me.
All your secrets, whether they be good or whether they be evil. I don't care what you call yourself. There's one God one God. He created you. He created the earth. He laid the foundations and spread out the heavens. And he's the God that is going to look you in the eye and drop kick your sorry backside into hell.
I think you've made your point.
You're diverse.
We understand you now. You're repeating the same point over and over again.
Well, George, you've had a debate with Shirley.
I certainly have, and I know where she's coming from.
Well, I could see that the two of you cannot find any common ground whatsoever, not even about Star Trek.
George is scraping, and he's trying to
why
find
does he
common
want
ground.
to turn Star Trek into a push fag show? Why does he want to do that?
Why? No, that's your interpretation, isn't it?
You just said.
You weren't listening to me, were you?
You said.
See, this is a problem.
The message of Star Trek. You didn't get the message. I got the message.
See, George, she can push anybody's buttons. She's going to get you yelling in a minute.
Somebody's going to yell in a moment.
I don't believe in that game. I believe, and you're really not listening to me, because what I've said is you have. Will you let me finish?
It's nonsense. You might as well not even open your mouth and talk. All you're doing is pissing off God. Why do you even bother to talk?
Now, do you know that this is America? I don't think you do.
That's the problem. You see, that's what de Tocqueville said when he came over here and looked at this nation and wrote his writing, and he said, America's great at the end of the day because America's good, because righteousness thunders from her pulpits.
Well, Shirley,
America ceases to be great, America will cease to be good, and I'm telling you, America has ceased to be great.
See, Shirley, I think you would be more comfortable living in Afghanistan with the Taliban. They're coming back there.
Yes.
Where do you live?
My God, put me here so that I can tell you.
You would probably like a religious nation more, like a Taliban, where the women wear burqas and no one has religious freedom.
Well, if she has her way,
this will become that. They have their perverse religion, just like most of America has their perverse religion, and you hate them for their religion?
Where do you live, Shirley?
I live in Topeka, Kansas.
In Kansas.
You can't miss where I live because we have a huge banner over the face of our church that says GodHatesAmerica.com.
Yeah, you can see that from here.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes. Don't forget, thesignsofthettimes.net. It's our new website, thesignsofthettimes.net. If you can click on the picket sign that you hate the most, someone's there talking to you in a short video. It's awesome stuff.
I thought your group is called God Hates Fags.
Well, that's our main website, but we got sister websites. God Hates Sweden, God Hates Canada, God Hates America.
Yeah, they're branching out.
Well, your God is a hateful God.
But a practical question. What website is the primary website where we can go and read this viciousness?
You can find most of this stuff and link to other stuff from the God Hates Fags page. And like at the very beginning, underneath the little, yield sign, it says, it has little links, and there's a red link about the Signs of the Times videos. That would take you to the new website. The
main website is GodHatesFags.com.
Exactly.
If you really read your Bible,
PriestRateBoys.com and SmellTheBrimstone.com.
PriestRateBoys.com is yours as well?
Exactly.
You seem to have cornered the market on every provocative website.
Oh, my God. That's on account of if you listen to what you said. You got all that porn crap floating around out there. God knows what that stuff says. And you say, our website is provocative.
Let's go to Jeff the Drunk, who wants to chime in on this, believe it or not, in this debate. Yes.
I own the rights to God Hates Brazil, honey, so you're going to have to come to me.
Shirley.
Yes, Jeff.
Shirley, you are a dumb fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up.
I knew that this guy, this drunk, that you would prop up on that before you moved over to serious trouble.
Yes. I have a website.
He had some things to say.
I have a website, God Hates Jeff.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Jeff, you do not like Shirley's views, as most of us, we find them repulsive, but yet...
but I thought we were diverse and tolerant.
Well, you don't have to like
we don't have to like
No, but you're talking about hate. You hate.
I'm telling you.
You're not respectful of diversity at all.
Your God, by the way, Howard, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Your God hates your nonsense, and he's dealing with this nation. How blind are you? How blind? Why don't you guys connect up the dots from point A, your filthy manner of life, to point B, all of this stuff that's going on around you, your dead soldiers coming home. He says, I'm going to open my arsenal and bring forth my weapon.
America hates you. Shut the fuck up.
Well, of course they do, because they hate their God. They've gone pouring after
they hate you.
You know, you live a rather hateful life. That's really sad.
The real sad thing is she has 11 kids.
Can you imagine?
3 of them went with
11 children being raised by that woman.
Alex claims, Shirley, you still with us? Yes, Alex.
My mic, Howard.
I'm sorry. Alex claims that you're lying about the amount of children you have. Alex, what evidence do you have about this?
Well, yesterday you played a tape from her, the TV show, that when she was yelling at the lady, and she said she's got 8 children. Now, today,
I said
today she said she's got 11 children.
I said I have 8 sons and 3 daughters. You just got to listen carefully.
No, you said you have 8 children.
I said 8 sons and 3 daughters.
Wow.
Listen
all right, well, Shirley seems to know. I think, as crazy as she may be, she seems to know how many children she has.
My 3 daughters, you clown.
Yes.
On your TV. Oh, well, 2 of them have anyway.
Gay Ramon wants to say hello to Shirley in Topeka. Yes, Gay Ramon.
Hey, how are you doing? Hey, listen, lady. How many kids you say you have? 3?
11.
3 boys?
11.
11? They're all going to be fucking gay. They're all going to be little fucking cocksuckers. Keep preaching your fucking shit.
Well, that's a good point, Shirley. If one of your kids... What are you going to do?
Exciting. What?
Shirley, what are you going to do if one of your kids is gay?
You know that doesn't just happen. You don't just look up one day and you got a fag sitting over there. You had to work hard at it. Go after it with both hands.
See, that just shows how little you understand.
No, I understand perfectly.
No, you don't. That's very arrogant.
You glorified him not as God, and neither were thankful, but became vain in your imagination, and your foolish heart, think Star Trek, was darkened, and professing yourselves to be wise, you became fools, and you changed the glory.
You know, Howard, this is the kind of thing we have to put up with the freedom of speech. We do have to tolerate this kind of diatribe.
No, you guys given away that First Amendment. You got your legislators all around this nation now who raised their right hand to God and swore to uphold and defend the Constitution, giving away that First Amendment, dismantling it. And where is your voice, Howard, in that discussion?
Well,
what are you talking about?
I'm talking about these legislative Talibans have started passing laws in all these states because of this little church. You know, there are 70 souls that pertain to Westboro Baptist Church, 70. And amazingly, we've got laws in almost 30 states, and bimbo, bombastic, blowhard, bastard Bush just signed a federal law that really none of it changes anything. Says we can't go to those funerals closer than 150 feet from the national cemeteries. We don't stand that close anyway.
Let's go to Buddy Lee, who wants to say hello to Shirley from God Hates Fags. Yes, Buddy.
Hey, what is wrong with this lady? I mean, she's crazy. Hasn't she ever heard of Love Thy Neighbor?
What about that Love Thy Neighbor stuff, Shirley?
I'm so glad you asked. In fact, we were discussing that with that loudmouth woman from Fox. She went to the...
How could you be so militant about it?
Listen, love thy neighbor has a meaning, a definition, and the Lord your God gave it to you at Leviticus 19, verses 17 and 18. It says, do not suffer their sin upon them, but in any wise rebuke them. Warn your neighbor that his sin has taken him to hell. Love thy neighbor equals rebuke. You warn them so that they might not go to hell. And if you don't do that, it says, you hate your neighbor in your heart. Now, as between all us chickens here, who's doing that job?
Well, there you have it, George. You've had a debate with Shirley from her organization, God Hates Fags. I think you tried your best to have a civil discussion.
Well, you know, this is the thing. You know, with the freedom of speech, we have to tolerate this kind of nonsense, this kind of foolishness. Stupid people have their rights as well.
What about you, Gary Dell'Abate?
You know, it's creepy. If you go to their website, they have not only pictures of her protesting funerals of soldiers, but they have like upcoming funerals to go to.
Oh, they post funerals you could attend.
Like, Shirley, how do you decide whose funeral you're going to protest?
Well, it's upon our agenda to try to protest all of them, but, you know, God is killing so many of them that there's not any possible way flesh and blood can do all those pickets.
And there's only 70 of you.
That's right. So we have to pick and choose, and we just wait for the details and logistics to fall out just right, and then we get there.
Well, gee, what a lucky family. Their son comes home dead from Iraq, and there's Shirley at the funeral making a mockery of their service.
And she's upset. How about this? You made a mockery of God and his word, and he's made a mockery of you. He's the one who killed the child. And Luke 16:18 says that the child wants us there, and he wants you to listen to us.
Well, Shirley, here's Patrick, who fought in Iraq. And Patrick, what do you want to say? I'll give you the last word.
Hey, let me tell you, Shirley, I had the honor of escorting the first Marine that was killed in this freaking war. Tell me, you show up at any of my friends' funeral, there ain't no difference about problem. You got no idea about what this fucking country is about. You're off your rocker, and... Man, Howard, please, for the love of God, do not give this crazy fucking cunt any more goddamn airtime.
All right, Patrick. Here. Well, George agrees with you.
Came off that plane. Me and my department were fucking crying as we escorted him to the county line for the next sheriff to take over. If she was there, trust me, every cop in North Carolina would be kicking her ass back to wherever the hell she came from, Topeka, Kansas.
Well, Patrick,
that's what this bitch deserves.
Patrick, you've said it all. You've said it all.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Just because I want George to get the full effect here. Hey, Shirley, you don't have one of your kids around that could talk for a second, do you?
Oh, come on. Let's knock it off already. I can't take much more. What is that, Shirley?
I said, yes, I have one of my daughters that just came in.
Yes. Well, she's pretty much got the same views.
Yeah, and
so not only that, but...
Shirley, remember something.
Filthy mouth.
I'm sorry, what?
Tell that guy to stop being such a filthy mouth.
Oh, I see.
He was a caller.
No, your mouth is clean?
He doesn't need to be a filthy mouth. All he does is, that's my point. I rest my case. You filthy mouths think if you cuss and say filthy things that's going to change God? And that's going to what? Endear you to him?
Hey, Shirley, just remember this, and I'm going to leave you with a thought for the day, and I'll ask you to think about it.
All right.
If there were no gay people, we wouldn't have the Tony Awards. Think about it. All right, Shirley, good luck.
Not gay people, Howard.
Shirley,
all their enablers.
Good luck with your God, and have a party with him today. I'm sure he's there for you.
What's on the agenda today, as a matter of fact?
Actually, I'm going to be heading out the door in a couple of minutes because we've got to get to South Carolina where they're setting up an idol to Billy Graham. I'm sorry, North Carolina, Greensboro, where they're setting up an idol to Billy Graham. You know, kind of like Nebuchadnezzar on the plains of Dura. Well, this is on the plains.
You don't like Billy Graham either?
He's a lying false prophet. It's his fault that this nation is his and all the rest of the lying false prophets that litter the landscape, that this nation's in such a mess.
Sounds like a busy day.
Yes.
What public figure, celebrity do you like, Shirley? I don't.
Well, every time I find a program, you know, like, for instance, Law and Order, if I can occasionally see some of that. But you don't want to look too close at any of them because they've all flipped off their God and they're headed to hell.
I'm not even saying entertainment, just celebrity.
Yeah, what about Donny Osmond?
Donny Osmond, please.
No good?
She doesn't like... I'm trying to figure out who she likes.
Mel Gibson, do you like?
And I like to watch their entertainment.
What about Dancing with the Stars?
False religion.
What about Dancing with the Stars?
What about Dancing?
I think Mel Gibson did a pretty doggone good job showing the vicious nature of those Roman soldiers and the vicious, filthy, dark hearts of those evil bastard Jews that killed Christ.
So you like that film?
But he left out one thing.
Yes.
He failed to tell you why. Why were they so pissed off at Christ?
Why? Tell us.
Because he told them what I'm telling you, and that's why you're so pissed off.
Is God okay with Dancing with the Stars? What about that show? I would imagine you'd like that. Do you like that?
All of that nonsense.
What, dancing you don't like?
Hon, look.
Do you ever dance?
The fact that you make everything about your filthy manner of life.
Wait a second. You don't like Dancing with the Stars?
Well, you mean as far as entertainment?
Yes.
Well, I've seen little bits of it.
I mean, what the hell could be more wholesome than Dancing with the Stars?
American Idol.
You couldn't find...
Idol, please.
American Idol is bad?
Can you say... more and worse and more and worse. That's what you said. I love the name of it. American Idol, because you understand this is an idolatrous, idol-worshipping nation.
Can I pitch a show to you that I think you would like?
See, now I agree with her about American Idol.
What if I could get a show on the air called Dancing with the Fag Haters, where a group of your people come on and dance and have a dance competition?
You would not.
You would not? Why would you not have Dancing with the Fag Haters? I will put that on Howard TV. I'll come down there and shoot it.
We would not.
How about the fag-hating bachelor?
We take a fag-hating bachelor and we set him up with...
You probably already have some of that going on, fag-hating bachelor.
Wait a
You
second.
just don't call him that.
Let me make you an honest pitch here, Shirley.
But they don't hate fags, as you put it, with the proper kind of hatred, and they don't hate them for the right reason.
Shirley, I'm looking for a spin-off show for Howard TV. And what I'm suggesting to you is 2 different shows. All right. Since your group is God Hates Fags. All right. A God Hates Fags dance competition, Dancing with the Fag Haters, where you and, let's say, your husband go up against other fag haters, and we pick out the best dance troupe, and every week it's an elimination. Now, if that doesn't appeal to you, how about America's Top Fag-Hating Bachelor? Where
you let him go fornicate his brains out with some different...
No, where one of your guys who is not married yet is looking for a woman. We set him up with a room full of fag-hating women, and he can mate, eventually marry a fellow fag-hater. Why would you be against that?
All of it, the principles of it all.
I see what you're saying. You want to be executive producer, don't you? This woman can negotiate with the best of us.
The steps of the righteous man are ordered of the Lord. You don't go looking for a husband or a wife. You serve the Lord your God, and all those matters are resolved nicely. You don't need to be worrying about it.
So you will not participate in the dance show?
Of course not.
All right, I got another idea, and this is my last one. A ping pong tournament. Gays versus fag haters.
Did you say fags versus fag haters?
No, gays versus fag haters.
But that's what
do you think? Would your group put up your best ping pong players against gay ping pong players?
No, hon.
No.
How about
fag-hating apprentice, Robin? Is that where you're going?
Fag-hating survivor.
All right, fag-hating survivor. I like
We need to get them all on an island.
God hates fag survivors.
Nice.
A team of gays goes up against fag haters in Survivor.
And you'd be working out the details of that, would you?
I'd be Jeff Probst. I would be in a big kangaroo hat.
The tribe has spoken.
The tribe has spoken. Your fire is out, Shirley.
How about a spinoff of a hit that CBS just got rid of? Everybody loves Raymond, everybody hates fags.
How about...
I do have to tell you, that is the one sitcom that my husband would watch.
What is that?
Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yes.
That's why I hated it.
That cracked him up.
Yeah. What about sign fags? What if we had a takeoff? Listen.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Queer factor.
Yes. Shirley.
America is Brokeback Mountain.
I'm going to ask you very seriously. This is not a bullshit thing. If you and your fag-hating group are willing to have a dance-off, I will make you executive producer, because I think that's where you're headed. You get all the fag haters together. You figure out the couples, and let's go dance.
Funerals if I was trying to figure out how to dance.
There's time for dancing, too.
Yeah, I'll tell you, 11...
Not at this
I'd watch
hour.
that.
Don't you understand? It's not at this hour.
Would you go...
It used to be time for a lot of things, but not at this hour, because what you've done is you have brought the wrath of God down on your head.
Oh,
well,
put a sock in it.
To spread the word.
I tell you, 11 kids, one of them's going to be gay. And 11.
Yeah, the show that this reminds me of is The Sopranos. The Sopranos of Kansas.
Right. It's a very, very disturbing look at America.
Patriarchy.
Yes, but you guys are not disturbing. You guys are just good, clean, wholesome fun.
No, I never said that.
I've seen you.
My case.
I've seen you, and you know what? I think your presentation could use a little work. What about going on Queer Eye?
Yes. What about that?
Yeah,
wouldn't that be interesting?
That's some freak.
That'll happen.
Myself?
Yes, Marianne, go ahead in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Howard. First of all, God loves everyone. Shirley hates fags. Second of all, it's a money-making scheme. Shirley, I spoke to you before about the terrorists. And also, you're out for yourself, Shirley, not for anybody else. Arnie, that's a real cunt for you. I'd rather hear Richard Christie vomit or Elliot Austin than you. And I think, yes, there is freedom of speech, but not you. We don't need to hear you, Shirley.
All right, Marianne, very strong today from Brooklyn. All right, listen, Shirley.
Can we get back to Shirley's voice?
Yeah. I'd rather hear Shirley, quite frankly.
Exactly. No, everyone will listen. She's the face of America. That's wonderful. I'm glad she said that.
Marianne accuses you, Shirley, of not really sincerely hating fags. She says you're in it for money.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
What the hell is that? That is always such an entertaining comment. What the hell does that mean? We
Well, she says you're not
around
sincere.
This nation, crisscrossing this nation for 15 years. Every single day we have started into our 16th year.
How do you pay the bills for crisscrossing the nation?
How do we pay the bills? We do it the old-fashioned way. We work for a living. We don't.
Do you get contributions?
We don't ask for anything from you, and we won't take anything from you. Like Abraham told the king of Sodom.
What kind of work do you do?
The shoelace.
What type of work do you do?
Well, you know I'm a lawyer.
But when did you have time to defend people?
Well, in the first place, with the time I have to spend on this, not a lot these days. But
When you're arguing in a court of law, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you bring up all this, all your personal beliefs, or are you able to keep them out of the case?
Well, you know that we don't mix our personal religious views with our jobs. How stupid is that?
You actually have clients?
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not the only person at Westboro Baptist Church. We all work, and we have many jobs. I mean, lots of it, mostly professional stuff, nursing and quite a few lawyers and
there you go. All right.
jobs, you understand, where you work in an environment where, like your children going to school, you don't take your personal beliefs into your workplace or into your. That's why we utilize the streets. That's what the framers of the First Amendment intended.
All right, this could go on all day. Let's leave it. We've had a brief debate between George Takei and Shirley. And,
I don't think it's a debate, because a debate is one where you really approach it with open minds and willing to listen to the other person. She is closed-minded. She's not going to listen to anybody else.
All right. Thank you, Shirley.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
About that debate thing.
Yes.
There's got to be two positions. This is not open to debate. It's not open to discussion. That's what's taking you to hell, is the fact that you pretend it's open for discussion.
All right. Evidently, according to Shirley, God...
there is no debate.
God can't debate this, and God...
One-way street.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good luck to no one.
Good luck.
Well, that was very interesting.
Good luck to me.
You've educated me.
Yes, I have.
There are people like that in this world.
Well, let me commend
in
you.
America.
You were able to have something of a dialogue with her, even though no one listened. But you were able to keep your composure, and I admire that.
Well, I try to do that. That's the whole idea of having an exchange of ideas. But she was not willing to exchange.
George, I'm going to give you time to relax now. A little bit of a break, as you know, the breaks aren't
good.
too long.
I need that.
Yeah, but that woman
sipping.
with 11 kids, one of them's got to be gay, right?
Yes, that's going to be the greatest.
10%.
The poor kid.
Yeah.
Yes, the poor kid, too, because the kid will probably commit suicide.
Does he dare ever come out?
No way.
I think there's a suicide there coming up.
That's right. Well, listen, we've got to take a break. It's been a packed hour, and there's so much more going on. But first, these words. What else can I tell you? I had a very manly night last night. Hey, George, good to see you, by the way. God, people just love you, George.
Well, it's mutual.
They love having you on the show. They feel your class. I was reading on the Stern Fan Network. Everyone loves George Takei. There's never a negative with you. What is it?
Well, it's a mutual thing, because I get emails, too. And, it's good to read those emails, because you get a different perspective on what you're doing, And these are people who are fans. So I think I understand why you read them.
I was criticized for being somewhat empathetic or sympathetic to Screech, who was trying to raise money to keep his mortgage. A lot of people did write and say, you know what, fuck that guy. It's not like he's going to be homeless. It's just he can't own a home. Lots of people don't own homes. And big friggin' deal, I ain't buying his shit T-shirt. I kind of felt, well, okay, the guy's trying to raise money through an enterprise. It's a T-shirt. He's going directly to the audience. But
it was an odd request, though. It really was. Why should I have to lose my home because I made some bad deals?
Right.
But everybody could say that.
Well, I don't know.
Nobody wants to lose their home.
I think George was very sympathetic.
Yes, I was, because, it's like... if you think back in history, it's like the old barn raising. All the neighbors coming in and helping out, one man build his barn. And in this day and age now, our community is via this electronic or satellite media.
Great idea. You should live in a barn.
Yeah, why don't we build Screech a barn? Arnie was even somewhat sympathetic. He said, hey, all of us fall on hard times occasionally, and shouldn't we help?
Yeah, but there are...
I'm making them work for the money.
Literally say millions of people losing their homes, they don't have Screech's access to a media outlet so they can beg people to help them save their homes. And I think that's what people are responding to. Just because he's Screech, he shouldn't lose a home.
A lot of people were turned off that he was Screech. Yeah. And that he had a big penis. It was a waste.
What bothered me was Screech fixed his teeth.
Yeah, that really was disturbing. I brought that up right away. I mean, I saw these big white teeth. I said, what the hell are those chiclets?
I just can't wait to see what his act is like in Pittsburgh for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's why you did it.
Well, look, I'm willing to spend $2,000 to see it. But,
do you think his act will be horrible?
I don't know. You never know. Maybe it's funny. I don't know. But I was catching shit that Shuli, like, in a passive-aggressive way, interviewed me for the news and said, like, well, how come you didn't give, like, me or Sal that job or something? Like, I don't know.
Well, you know.
You or Sal have homes? Like,
I caught the Howard Stern News, which, by the way, I love the new format where they come up every hour and give you a story or a couple of quick stories. And, there was a lot of complaining that you gave Screech a $2,000 gig.
Right.
And you left out Shuli. Possibly three. That is correct.
If we go to 3 shows, I'll get 3. Yeah.
Well,
but he may be fired by the 3rd show.
We'll see.
We can only hope.
Right. We'll see what happens there.
No, I thought Shuli's got some stuff coming up, but...
Well, listen, that's not Artie's responsibility to make sure everybody gets work.
Apparently it is.
I'm the only person. I graduated high school. I graduated high school with about 3,000 kids, and I think I'm the only one with a home. So, you're right. Screech isn't so special.
But you've got a big heart. It shows, you're a big man in every way.
Oh, Christ.
It takes a big body to hold that big heart.
You really do like Artie, don't you?
We had a hear about our day yesterday?
We had a beautiful day yesterday. He stood me up the day before for a walk in Central Park.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought, well, forget Artie. I'm going to go to the Guggenheim to see this architecture exhibit, Zaha Hadid. Yeah. And I mentioned it to him, and he accepted. I mean, not only a walk.
He accepted going to the museum?
We had a lovely time.
Zahid?
Well, I didn't know who that was, but I like architecture. I like looking at cool buildings and stuff, especially around the world. So he said, oh, yeah, this woman's brilliant. And you should come see her work. So I was like, you know what? I got a couple hours. Maybe this will be our day together. So I went to the Guggenheim with George.
Fred, do you know of Zaha Hadid?
Zaha Hadid, yeah.
You do?
Yes,
I do.
Of course you do.
And I was happy I went. Like, what real impressive stuff. Like, she built the main headquarters for BMW in Germany. It's one of the most impressive-looking buildings in and out I've ever seen.
Hold it a second. Let me back
George
up.
is explaining angles.
Let me understand something. You and George had a date yesterday where you walked around Manhattan together to work on your fat.
No.
George wanted to show you.
Oh, yes. The elevator was broken. And you know how the Guggenheim is. It's a spiral going up.
No, he doesn't.
George, you're talking to Howard Stern.
You don't.
I know how the Guggenheim is. I can't even spell it.
I was only there one other time before.
Well, the elevator I suggested that we go to the top and work our way down, a descent, because I was thinking of, Artie. But then the elevator was broken, so not only did he get culture, but he got exercise to boot. We went up that spiral about, I'd say about 6 floors.
Oh, Christ, yeah. Well, whatever
floors.
it is, it's like 6 or 7.
Was Artie breathing heavy?
No, we went very leisurely. We focused on the art.
We actually did.
Yeah, Artie was in helicopter to the top of the building.
Dropped off.
There are many sides to Artie.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's got a sensitive side. He's got a cultured side. He's got a side that appreciates the finer things of life. Yeah. I mean, I was so proud of Artie.
You're a cretin, Artie. He was really surprised you could like
Artie. I thought you were a big slut. This is almost like the modern day Odd Couple.
Actually,
Artie and George.
as we were on like the 3rd part of the Guggenheim, I said to myself, there is a movie here somewhere.
No, there definitely is. I could write it up in 10 minutes.
But I learned things I had never learned before. Like, there are architects in the world that will design an entire city, not just a building, a block. And,
that's right.
There's one going on in Brazil right now, and this woman is very impressive. She's an Iraqi woman who spent a lot of time in London, and is
Look at this.
She's got a lot of personality. There's videos of her all over the place. It's very entertaining to listen to her.
I am impressed. You revealed earlier in the week that when you were with your ex-girlfriend Dana, you had a book of us. And
No, she had a book of it.
And you contributed to it.
I was forced to under a lot of duress.
And now you're really taking advantage of having George here for the week and getting cultured and going to the Guggenheim, and you're learning about Iraqi women.
Let me ask you
beyond
something.
that, he connected with her, because she's an extraordinary woman.
She is, actually. I grew to like her by the 8th floor.
Architecture and construction is a very macho business. And you got to be a tough woman to be able to hold your own, and she does.
What I love about especially on the Upper West Side of New York, like the Ansonia Hotel and all that stuff, like what I love about architecture is these incredibly brilliant, technical, white-collar guys have to mix with construction guys to get this thing together. So it's unique that way.
Wow.
And she's great at it. She's a tough broad.
Did you guys stop for lunch at the Guggenheim? Did you sit and...
No, there was no time for lunch.
I had to report back to, who else? Brad.
Evidently, Brad was jealous that he was with a dude.
So I went back to the hotel.
Who would think? Was Brad upset that you were with another man?
No. He listens to the show. He has a feel for Artie. You know what Artie's like. When he feels very confident and safe.
But in a way, I mean...
his rival.
I mean, it's got to be threatening. I know, like, if Beth spent the day, even with a male friend, going through town and this and that.
The museum is kind of a romantic date.
She gets insecure if you go out with a male friend.
No. I said I would get it. I would get insecure if I went out, if she went out with a, male
friend. I see.
I'm sure Brad was a little bit jealous that you're bonding with Artie.
I think I could have taken advantage, but I was a nice guy.
Do you think George was attracted to you, Artie? Were you sensing something?
Well, he's the one that wanted to get me into the brambles and the brambles there.
George is afraid to walk in the park with you.
Not near the rambles. No.
Let me tell you something, George and Artie. I had a much more manly day than a date at the Guggenheim.
I know. That's what I was about to say.
I wanted to ask Artie if Dana had suggested they go to the museum.
Oh, forget it.
I've been to a museum with Dana.
But you do it begrudgingly.
The Dana thing was an exhibit that I wasn't... Well, I was kind of into it, I guess.
Would you say you have more in common with George than Dana? Is George a better date?
No. God,
it was a funny thing. I got there about 10 minutes before.
The news covered this, by the way.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I made sure they knew about it so they wouldn't get in trouble, and they covered it.
I was there in front of the Guggenheim waiting, and it was like 2 minutes before 1. We were supposed to get together at 1. No Artie. I made sure I got his cell phone number, and I was about ready to pull out my cell phone and start calling when up rolls a cab. And not only Artie came out of that cab, he is a diva. He had an entourage. He had a photographer.
Can I tell you
why? We came in separate cabs. Jason and Steve Langford was my entourage.
Can I tell you why he did that?
Why?
Because he's so freaked out about spending the day with a gay man.
No, I'm not.
Yes, he needed...
No, Jason, get in here. Get in here and explain this. I did not want them to come. I was like, I don't want them to get in trouble in case you wanted the news to cover. You've been mad about stuff like that.
You're a little uptight being around George. You got to loosen up a little.
Well, then we were together for 2 hours alone.
We had a lovely time.
Yeah.
What is it, Jason?
No, it's true. Artie didn't ask us to come. Steve and I we took a cab up together to film and photograph the date.
Right, we took separate cabs.
Yeah, we met Artie up there. It was great. And I, too, spent a great afternoon with Steve Langford, hanging out with him for an hour.
That guy
learning all about him.
That guy is something else, man.
He's more fascinating than an Iraqi architect.
He's funny
Women is that.
when he's interviewing you. He gets into your personal space.
So you and George... Yeah, I know. You and George... Yeah, Steve Langford is intense.
Yeah, but he invades your space. Like, how was the date?
Now, he's really progressed because he was afraid to be using that word date. And now here he is, banding it about.
Steve did.
All right. Well, you two, while you two were on your date...
Yeah, how was your manly day?
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. That's right. Hey now. Welcome to the show. Oh, my goodness. What do I have for you today? Good morning, George. George Takei is here.
Good morning.
Do you want to do an announce to start the morning off? All right, go ahead.
Good morning. This is George Takei. I played Sulu in the original Star Trek television series and the movie series. Community activist. So, what the hell am I doing here announcing on the Howard Stern Show? Perhaps I've gone mad. Perhaps it's dementia. Maybe like the late Ronald Reagan, I've lost my marbles. Anyway, here is the Howard Stern Show.
Well done. Well done. I was digging through our archives, and I found an interview that you had done a while ago.
I had done?
Yes.
With you?
Yes, with us, yes, here at the radio station.
Oh, my.
And, you sound terrific, and it was really very revealing, and I'd like to share that.
Hello, Mr. Takei. Great to see you again.
Hi, how have you been?
Oh, great. Thanks for asking. Well, let's start off with your November 1994 appearance on the Howard Stern Show. I hear that you had a special encounter with one of the staff members. What was their name?
Fred.
And what was it that drew you to Fred Norris?
His face looked exotic, vaguely Asian. So I locked the door, and my sweaty hands gripped Fred firmly.
And when you saw Fred in the lavatory, what was the first thing you noticed about his appearance?
The most exotic thing about his appearance was this gargantuan phallic monster.
Give me 2 words to describe Fred's appearance.
Long and hard.
And then did you reveal yourself to him?
I got it out. It fed his head at my tiny wang.
Then what happened?
Fred gave my wang an affectionate squeeze.
What were you thinking after he did that?
I never dreamed that I would be entering Fred.
But I understand that then it was Fred who took control.
Fred was fully behind me. I quickly turned wet and messy. What a sensational entrance, I thought.
Describe what happened next.
It was an indescribable joy. Fred raged inside me.
Was there anyone watching?
Scott, the engineer, stood there silently, his cherry eyes taking in everything.
What were you thinking while all of this was happening?
I was doing Fred.
What happened when all of this was over?
I thanked Fred and tiptoed back to the shower.
So after this experience, what is your opinion of Fred Norris?
I found Fred to be elegant and at the same time passionate.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Takei.
Right.
Oh, my.
I didn't know you were Fred.
I didn't know about
so
that.
Intimate.
Now Brad's going to be upset again. First Fred, now Arnie. You're working your way through the entire show.
Absolutely.
Benji's next.
Right.
Well, I've been keeping Brad up to date on my friendship, my platonic friendship with Arnie.
You're still claiming it's platonic.
By the way,
Well, he's absolutely confident.
Yeah, I'm insisting on it.
But he suggested something very interesting.
Oh, really?
I'm going to be the Grand Marshal of the Chicago Gay Pride Parade on June 25th. And he said to invite Artie because he wants to show his sense of security with me by inviting you to join us on that car.
Let me check my calendar. No, I'm busy.
Chicago. That toddling town.
Yeah. Let's see. No, I got a Yankee Twin game.
you're busy that day?
I think I'm busy.
That's a shame.
What a shame. Chicago will be disappointed.
You know, has a presence at the gay parade here in New York.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and they have a whole big float and a car, and someone said you should ask George to if he wants to be on there, but I don't know.
When is it?
Who the hell knows? Someone wrote me a note about it. I don't know.
Well, June is Gay Pride Month, you know.
And we could book you into every gay parade around the country.
Yeah, we could have you busy all 30 days.
Yeah, we'll keep you way busy with that whole gay parade stuff.
Well, I'm celebrating Gay Pride Month right here on the Howard Stern Show.
Damn right. Well, good for you, and great story about you and Fred.
It's good to know. I'll be on my guard next time I head for the lavatory.
On a more serious note, I was asking George yesterday, who, of course, during World War II was in Japanese internment camp.
No. They were American internment
American.
camps. We were not captured by the Japanese.
No, but you know what I mean. The Japanese people were in. They call them Japanese internment. They interred the
internment.
The internment they did the Japanese.
Yes, but George is right. It would imply that it was in Japan.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
We know what you're saying.
Right.
even if you don't.
So I asked George about his views on, first of all, on Adolf Hitler, and here's what he said.
Oh, my goodness. Adolf Hitler is brilliant. He's very funny.
No wonder they locked you up.
And then he said some other interesting things about Adolf Hitler in that period of time.
Adolf Hitler was my hero when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Sure.
Well, you know,
got it.
Howard, you are ruining me. I am not going to be able to get out on the streets of New York now. This is terrible.
Well, George, those are your opinions, and then you said this.
Adolf Hitler was wonderful.
Oh.
That's right. Yes. Terrible.
How can
that is awful. You are so destructive.
You can't just make a statement like that and not back it up, George.
Right.
What was wonderful about it?
Yeah, I mean, really.
He was wonderfully vile. I mean, he was brilliantly sadistic. He was... I mean, he was Hitler.
All right.
He was Hitler, that's true.
Thou doth protest too much.
Well, you know, I really have to be good in this life because I share the same birthday.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
I mean, it's really terrible.
Yeah, and then you said this.
As a matter of fact, I'm serving as the Grand Marshal of the Chicago Adolf Hitler Prize. I am.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, the ACLU will defend me on this.
Who knew Chicago had such a parade?
Really?
Adolf Hitler was a very sensitive and considerate soul.
Oh, God.
I think I said that in your context, Artie.
Right.
Funny thing about George, and George is a great guy, but sometimes I think you're misguided. I was asking him about 9/11 or Osama bin Laden. Here's what you said.
Will you let me finish? In Osama bin Laden's gray beard.
Go right ahead.
And then these nasty words about Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston is a cunt.
Right.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
And then you said this.
Jennifer Aniston is stupid and ignorant.
Right.
Oh, I know how you got that. That was my conversation with that woman yesterday. Shirley, was it?
Yes,
was that her name?
That's true.
Shirley.
You were talking with Shirley about Jennifer Aniston?
No.
That's how I got it.
Are you going to let me finish on Osama bin Laden? But
I love the cadence of Osama bin Laden's. But
I love Osama bin Laden's sexy gray balls.
Oh,
when did I ever say that?
You evidently did. You can't make that stuff up.
Oh, I'm not unlike Osama bin Laden. No. You know, technology can be terrible as well.
I know. Well, then I tickled George.
Oh, good. Enough already.
he's like
He loves to be tickled.
He's like the Pillsbury Doughboy over here.
I tickled his feet and belly.
You rascal.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. I love black wag. Black wag. I love black wag. Black wag. I want to get zero flaky black lollipops. One of my neighbors in Denver is flaky. Oh my. Oh my.
All right, let's get off George now. For God's sake.
George, you better be quiet.
Have mercy.
Don't say a word, or we'll edit it and chop it up and change all your words.
You are inhibiting me. Yes. I won't be able to utter a sound.
I think you've had an influence on Artie. He's wearing a terry cloth shirt today.
Really?
Yeah, terry cloth.
It is.
Stand up, Artie.
Yeah.
Model for us.
And turquoise at that.
Yeah.
Wow, look at you.
You're very
like a blue turtle.
Very summery.
Very colorful.
What'd you do yesterday, George? How did you take advantage of being here?
Well, I went to the matinee. You know, these hours are brutal, so I can't go to evening performances. So I was reduced to going to a matinee of Faith Healer. And I'm telling you, these matinee crowds are something else.
What's wrong with them?
There was a woman who had a plastic bag, and she rattled it all through the performance. And then at the beginning... What?
What a cretin.
Oh, we didn't know who, we knew where it was coming from, and we think it's that woman. But then in the second act, there was this high-pitched...
How did you deduce it was the woman?
When the play finished and we were walking out, she was walking out with a great big two plastic bags.
So you couldn't say anything to her during the performance?
Well, we didn't know where we knew it was coming from somewhere back there.
That's so annoying.
It really is. But here's the topper. There was this high-pitched screech, really high-pitched, very irritating, right through Cherry Jones's speech. And, nothing was being done. It went on for like about almost 10 minutes.
What could it be?
It turned out to be some senior citizen who had hearing aids.
Oh.
And it was the most irritating thing, only at matinee performance. And it takes forever and a day to get out because senior citizens walk at this glacial, magisterial pace, and it's also, the aisles are so crowded, you can't move.
Right.
The play was wonderful, but
Too many distractions is what you're saying.
I don't think I like matinees. I do not like
Why don't you
matinees.
say something to these people, or is it the Star Trek non-interference rule?
No, I say things.
You do.
But, we didn't know where that crinkly sound was coming from.
You have to locate the rascal.
However, this was at a movie theater in L.A. It's at the most exciting part of the movie. There was a guy sitting next to me, and his cell phone goes off. And I looked, and I thought, surely he's going to turn it off and, kind of look apologetic. No, he pulled it out and started a conversation. And so I glared at him, and he had the cheek to glare right back at me.
White guy or black guy?
White guy.
White guy.
White guy. And that got me so angry, I grabbed his wrist and pushed it down. And then he stood up. And I'm not about to back down. So
you don't know karate or anything.
What?
You don't know karate.
Yeah, but I know how to defend myself.
That's right.
And so I stood up, and we stood there glaring at each other in the middle of a movie theater.
He probably thought you were Mr. Miyagi and thought you were going to kick your ass.
No, he should have backed down then. But we just stood and glared, and then guess what he did?
What?
Blew you.
Spat at me.
He wanted
my face.
He spat at you on your face.
I was so stunned, I just stood there with his spittle dripping off my cheek. And then the guy turned around and headed for the aisle. And so I turned around, and the aisle behind me was closer. And I started running up the aisle. And when I got in the lobby, I saw him running out. I yelled, "Stop that guy! Stop that guy!" And a couple of ushers ran after him, thinking he'd lifted my wallet or something, But he got away. And the manager came out and says, "What's the matter? What happened?" And I told him, "Look at this. Look at this." It was outrageous. Cell phones used to be an amazing sci-fi device on Star Trek.
Right.
Today, it has become a real
nuisance.
threat and a nuisance.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an annoying thing.
Beyond annoying. I got spat on the face because
Well, the cell phone didn't do that, but idiot people with their bad manners.
That's what it is. Civility is gone.
Now what movie were you seeing?
Scoundrel.
What were you seeing? What movie?
This was like about 3 years ago, so I don't remember the movie now.
I see.
But
He missed the most exciting part.
You mean just as the guy was about to swallow the jizz?
I got spat on.
Oh, that's awful. That's a terrible thing.
Oh, it's horrible.
It really is. I mean, the rudeness of people, whether it's senior citizens at matinee performances of a Broadway play or at a movie theater.
Now, how old a guy was this who spat on you?
He was much younger than me. I would say he was in his, maybe early 20s. Early 20s.
It was disgusting.
Good manners, have disappeared.
Too bad you didn't smack,
I wish I could have got my hands on him. I really would, and there we were in a darkened theater.
Where was Brad?
Brad was to my right, and he was stunned. He just sat there,
weeping.
Brad's a hero, huh?
As a matter of fact, he was pulling at me, trying to get me to sit down.
Brad was watching the movie.
No. He knew what was going on.
Right.
Because he heard the conversation as well.
Certainly the two of you could have overpowered this cad.
Yes, we certainly could have, but...
Brad was not going to participate.
Yeah, at times like that, I don't know whether I can count on him.
Well, it sounds like you definitely can.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I truly am.
It really is a commentary on our society.
You bet.
Well, it's sad what you have to tell people. Restaurants have to say on the menu, no cell phone use, because people are too stupid to know what they're doing.
I read an interview with Richard Griffith, the guy that got the Tony Award for History Boys, and he said that at some performances, when there are people talking or cell phones going off, and apparently at this particular performance, the cell phone went off 3 times, he stopped the performance and said, "You were told," looking right at the person whose cell phone went off, "you were told at the beginning of the play, before it began, please turn off your cell phone. The first time it went off, I'm sure the people around you made a comment on this. I am an actor. I will not perform with this kind of interruptions. So unless you go leave the theater, I'm leaving the stage." Wow. And the ushers came and ushered that man out.
Well, would you do that in a play? You would, right? I think you would.
I've never had a chance to do it, and Cherry Jones was amazing because with that high-pitched screech, she kept going. Right on going.
Well, there you go.
It was a long speech she had.
Well, it sounds like George is very busy here in New York.
I'm keeping myself occupied.
Full advantage of everything we have in the Big Apple.
And by the way, welcome to Theater Talk on Howard 100.
I'm in some weird Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
Jennifer
people are
Aniston
wondering where they tune to.
Jennifer Aniston is a cunt.
All right.
I'll never be able to meet that woman.
Right now, Zolar's punching his radio.
Jennifer Aniston is stupid and ignorant.
Right. All right. You've said it all. You really have.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. All right. Where was I? So that's George's life. Artie's going off to Vegas. Have you decided whether you're going to screw some whores out there? Or
me and Dana talked, and now she might be coming. What are you doing?
What are you up to?
What am I up to? We talked, and she, we had a good conversation, and I don't know.
When was this? Last night?
Yesterday. Oh, last night, yeah.
Yeah. Holy mackerel.
The story continues.
She doesn't want you with the young chicks.
Well, let's see. I don't know.
I was...
In a way, I feel like, I'm like, wow, I got some broad to be that jealous. I'm happy with myself.
I was looking at the Howard Stern website, howardstern.com, and it said, one of the headlines was the Artie and Dana soap opera. Right. It really is. Every day there's a new chapter.
Well, I don't know if this means anything, but Mary Jo Buttafuoco sent the show an email weighing in on Artie and Dana.
Really?
Wow. Take it from someone who thought that their love could change someone. It doesn't. Dana sounds a lot like me when I was in my 30s. Joey acted a lot like Artie.
Oh, wait. The premise is I'm getting compared to Joey Buttafuoco.
You're the Joey Buttafuoco in this story.
Okay, let's hear it.
Joey acted a lot like Artie when he was in his 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Continue.
You both are prolonging the inevitable. Artie doesn't love Dana enough to change. He loves her, but on his terms. Dana thinks she can change Artie and is still trying, confusing Artie. Message to Dana and Artie: run. Don't walk away from each other. Listening to the two of them is bringing back too many memories.
You're giving Mary Jo flashbacks.
Wow. What the fuck? Jesus.
If I knew then what I know now. Bottom line, Artie really doesn't want to change right now, and that's his prerogative. She is not the one.
For him.
Let me just say, under no circumstances would I ask someone to shoot Dana. Okay?
Nice.
I want to say that out loud.
Hey, I was thinking about our great week with George. George, and...
oh, God, the comments I'm getting from people around about George.
Everyone loves him.
Oh, my, there's not one... Because, George, we all get bashed, even Howard. So, I mean, we all take it. Everything is positive about it.
You know, I'm thinking about all the tapes.
We're all jealous of you.
Yeah.
That's right. We don't get any positives. But, you know, it's 20 years of tapes are coming back to us, and I woke up this morning going, you know what? I just realized we can bring back all the great tapes of the Homo Room, where I took, in fact, William Shatner down there. We used to have a bit where we'd have a room devoted to gay sex. And I took Shatner down there.
Yeah.
Remember? We did.
Those were great.
In the old Madison Avenue building?
In the old Madison Avenue building, we did a bit called the Homo Room.
Yeah, there was a Homo Room in that building.
You never took me there.
Well,
we couldn't because of the FCC.
That's right. And now we can, and we can play all those old bits for you. And that's one of those bits I'd like to play. We never could even play it on Best Of because it had been completely banned. Would have been a $19 million fine if they had played that.
Oh, this sounds terrific.
Oh, you're going to love it. There's penis ping pong.
And this is with Bill Shatner.
Bill Shatner, Hide the Frog.
Oh, my.
Oh, don't ask. So among all the bits that everyone's mentioning, no one has mentioned that.
No, the Homo Room was completely forgotten.
That's right. Here's somebody, you know, you talk about George Takei and all of his success this week on the show. I'll read you some of the email we got, and it really is positive. You guys aren't lying. Please keep George on full time. He's so funny and such a good sport. He really seems like he's part of the show, a perfect fit. The show has never been better. I'll keep reading these. Here's another one. Congratulations again. George Takei is the best addition to the show since Artie. He is truly ear delicious. Number 3, Howard and Crew. George is the greatest. You have to keep him coming back. I loved it when George stood his ground with the God Hates Fags hoe. George is so nice and timid acting, yet the hoe from God Hates Fags was getting under his skin as well. George, even though you can't come out on stage the same time Shatner and Nimoy come out, you are the man. They need to wait on you. Number 4,
that's wonderful.
Just wanted to say how great it is having George Takei on the show. George has become a true friend of the show, and I wish to thank him for coming on the show and being so honest with us and sharing his memories, thoughts, and sense of humor. George is quite possibly the finest human being alive. I thank him for being such a good sport and not judging the show or its audience. Keep up the good work, Howard. We can't get enough. And then there were a couple more. I must tell you, having George in this week is great. The chemistry he has with Artie is indescribable. The natural comedy that is a result of this happy couple is not something that can be created. It's, by the way, the picture of George and Artie at the museum, the Guggenheim.
Beautiful, yes.
It's a beautiful picture, and it is on howardstern.com.
Yes.
Everyone is commenting it and getting out their Photoshop and making goofy pictures.
Boy. Well, you know, there are a lot of Artie photos on the page right now.
I understand there are a lot of embellishments going on around that picture.
Oh, no. Wait till you see what the fans can do with a picture, George.
Oh, and it started almost immediately as soon as we posted it. I didn't think you could make the show any better, but George Takei brings a certain sophistication and sense of humor that makes your show that much funnier. I hope he comes back for many weeks to come. And finally, and this man uses a lot of negative language, but he loves you. He goes, oh, shit, Captain Sulu is the shit. You might not be living this fucking faggot-ass cocksucker is pretty funny. Well, then maybe this is good. I used to hate fags, but thanks to Sulu, I now think fags are great guys.
Well, he's got some ways to go, but yeah, I appreciate the basic sentiment.
So did I.
It's a start.
Yeah.
You're changing the world, George.
Well, I have gotten amazing emails.
There's only one negative email about you that I received.
Good. Let's hear that.
All right, let's be honest here and read everything. Apparently, you're not getting all the feedback about Takei. I am not a fan of Takei. Don't like Takei. His voice and monotonous speaking style are boring and have gotten very old and tired very fast. For God's sake, stop having him on the show. I can't understand your weird fascination with him.
Well, that is humbling, and that also keeps the feet planted right on the ground.
Well, you know, like here you have 900 million great emails and the one negative, and yet the one negative can always stay with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yes, that's true of all.
But, those are the ones that are important. It keeps your perspective on the whole thing.
That's a guy who says, look, I used to love faggots. Now I hate them.
We got a big segment coming up here. I was in here preparing. It's like preparing for World War III, one of these beauty pageants. You would think we do important work. I don't think they put this much effort into the government. I swear to God. George Takei is here.
Well, look at what we're getting. You might be right.
George Takei is here. He's our announcer. Let's let him announce, Robin.
Right.
Go ahead, George.
I would like to welcome you to this most
Oh, I've done this before. You're listening to The Howard Stern Show, the only show in broadcasting where you wax your balls, where waxing your balls is considered high-class entertainment. Oh, jeez. I can't believe Howard gets paid millions of dollars for stunts like that. Why the hell did I waste my time learning how to act?
Thank you.
That's not an intro.
It's more about you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right. Nevertheless, well done. What is it, Frank?
Hey.
What's up?
You guys got the tapes back, so why don't you play that call when you were calling up George with Montalban voice?
What do you say?
He's talking about the George Takei, Ricardo Montalban tape.
Yeah,
Kid Chris.
Kid Chris.
Oh. You want to hear that?
Who was playing Ricardo Montalban?
Kid Chris. He's a DJ who's a friend of ours.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I fell for that one, too.
Well, let's see. There's about 50 bits here on the George Takei page. Let's see. Here's one of them. This is the one you want? You've got it.
Hello.
Hi, George. This is Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo?
Yes.
How are you?
How are you?
Just great.
I was just calling to say hello.
Well, it's always delightful to hear from you.
So, what are you doing this evening?
Well, believe it or not, tomorrow I'm taking off on a Star Trek cruise. We have Star Trek conventions that now float.
Are you going to come out to Fantasy Island?
Well, we're sailing from San Pedro, and we're going through the Panama Canal. Yes.
Is there
what are you up to?
I'm just driving around with talking on my new phone.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yes, I was thinking about trying to buy some hookers.
Oh, my.
Is that your doggy?
That's my dog.
What's your dog's name?
She's a papillon. Her name is Ren.
Ren?
Speak French?
Very little.
Well, Ren means queen.
I know Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, no, not that Ren. R-E-I-N-E.
I see.
Ren. La Reine, her full name is La Reine Blanche.
That's a pretty...
La Reina Blanca.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Have you, have you been watching E when they had the story about tattoo?
No.
Oh. That's why I'm calling. I was wondering if you ever seen a midget naked.
You know, I don't think you're Ricardo Montalban.
Took long, you know. Took you a while.
George, did Ricardo Montalban call you regularly? Because you didn't seem surprised that it was him.
Well, you know, I'd worked with him. It'd been some time, though, but, you know. And now that I listen to it, it's a bad imitation.
George, let's put it this way. Were you high as a kite when you picked up that phone?
It was in the morning. You know, you're really not... you're relaxed. You're not thinking. You're not
groggy.
It seems like when George gets up in the morning, he has a big bowl full of gullible.
Do you want to start the contest, or do you want to hear Britney Spears crying because the paparazzi won't leave her alone?
Let me hear Britney Spears crying, then we'll start the contest.
That's on JD's page.
Was this on the Today Show?
Yeah, she cries. And it's those cool, long pauses of heavy breathing.
All right, here we go. This is Britney Spears on the Today Show.
What do you think it'll take to get the paparazzi to leave you alone?
I don't know. I don't know.
About another 10 minutes of that scary, bad career of hers, and the paparazzi will leave her alone. I trust you. Trust in this. Trust me. That she will not be bothered by the paparazzi in 2 years. They'll completely
do an album and have it bomb.
You know, I'm actually sympathetic to her because I did a TV thing, Will and Grace, in which she was a guest star as well. Yeah. And basically, she's a very sweet and very vulnerable, sensitive girl, and I think she's had too much happen to her. Let me
tell you something, George. You can't have it both ways. There are ways of avoiding the paparazzi.
Well, that's true.
You know, there are lots of celebrities who. I'm trying to think of somebody who's as big as her. Where do you never see the paparazzi bothering Christina Aguilera?
Right.
How come? Because she fucking keeps it low key. She's playing at both ends of the stick.
Yeah. Yeah, some of her behavior does invite
She goes and lives in the middle of paparazzi central.
Right.
She could move back to Kentucky or wherever she's from.
Goes to tons of restaurants that are all where the paparazzi hang out. You know, there's ways of getting around that whole deal.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
Right.
George Takei, our announcer all week. 2 truths and a lie. Pick out the truth, okay? Or is it 2 lies and a truth?
It's 2 truths and a lie.
All right, 2 truths and a lie. Here we go. I once appeared in a porno film. I once got oral while attending a theater production. Francis Ford Coppola owes me money. What's the lie?
Who is this about?
George Takei.
Oh.
Me.
Oh. All right.
Did George Takei once appear in a
Appeared in a porno. What's the second one?
Got oral while attending a theater production. When he was sitting in the theater, he got oral.
Francis Ford Coppola owes me money.
Francis Ford Coppola owes me money.
I got to figure the 2 truths are Francis Ford Coppola owes me money. And that I've had oral sex in a theater.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the porno movie being the lie as well.
I'm going to go with the porno film being real. And the oral, I don't think Francis Ford Coppola owes him money. What do you think of that? Fred, what do you think?
I want to say the porno film, unless he's, making a statement like somebody used his image, or if he did like a voiceover for a porno
Fred, what do you think is the truth, and what is the one
I'll say
lie?
the porno film is the lie.
All right, let's find out. George Takei, we know so much about you, but there's still more to learn.
There are other unknown facts about me.
I once appeared in a porno film. True or false?
That is true.
I knew it. I was right.
You appeared in a porno?
No, let me explain it.
See, this is not...
Let me give you... Fred was fairly close to it.
Well, he just said no now.
We did a beautiful film about 3 young hippies, one Asian guy, one beautiful young girl who wanted to be a writer, and this surfer guy who was involved in selling marijuana. We lived together in this Victorian house overlooking San Diego. It was a beautiful film of young idealistic people that got into trouble. The surfer guy got into trouble. We come to his aid, and we get into trouble, and we eventually part a little sadder but wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this film was made by the girl's father, who's a filmmaker. He mortgaged his house to make this small independent film. Couldn't get it sold. And, distributor, couldn't get a distributor. And so he just sold it outright to somebody. And apparently he hired bodies for us and spliced in porno scenes. And I found out about it years later. And I was pretty impressive, I must say. But it is a porno
it is
film.
true. I once got oral.
A porno film.
I once got oral while attending a theater production. I would say that's true.
That's a lie.
Oh, it is.
Oh.
Oh, my.
And the other part is true about...
Why does Francis Ford owe you money?
We went to school together at UCLA.
Francis Ford Coppola, the creator of The Godfather.
That's right, in the theater arts department. And he made a lot of student films, and I made a few of them with him. And he needed some money to do one of his student films. And he didn't have the money, so I loaned him $400. And the film was made. And he was still, having difficulties, so I never, called him on it. And once he became Francis Ford Coppola, it was a little tacky, so I never mentioned it to him.
He's never...
I bumped into him I bumped into him at studios and in commissaries, but I've never mentioned it to him.
Oh.
There you go.
It's got to be for him to initiate.
2 truths, 1 lie. Now you've learned it all.
Well, I think there were 2 lies and a truth there, because he really wasn't in a porno.
I don't know. We learned something.
It became a porno, yes.
Robin, what else is in the news? Yeah, I was talking to Arnie, and George Takei is here, our announcer. Hey, George.
Good morning. And great to be back with you all.
George is here with us for 2 days.
Nice.
Is it 2 days, George?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go back to L.A. for a meeting.
Meeting? What are you up to?
Well, you know what meeting I have to attend once a month. It's the bank board meeting.
Oh, the bank board meeting.
Yes.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah, George owns a bank.
That's a biggie, it seems, for him.
Well, I own, together with other people, a piece of it.
Right. That's a pretty good deal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it sounds impressive.
Well, you know, the
I don't
reason
make
we
any big money off it, but it sounds impressive.
Well, going back for a bank meeting is much better than
Being
most of
here.
the meetings we go to.
Yeah, we go to really shitty meetings.
What we did was, you know, back in the 80s, there were a lot of Asians immigrating to the Southern California area, and they're very hardworking people. They're very thrifty, and they save their money, and so, you know, we get those deposits, but eventually they, you know, after they get a substantial deposit, they open up businesses, and they need loans, and we wanted to help them out and with good loans, and we have a staff that is multilingual and speaks various languages.
Let me tell you something. That is the greatest racket going. That banking. I got to tell you.
You're loaning them back their money.
All right.
Yeah, I was talking to my sister about her mortgage. Like, you know, when she bought her house, she took out a mortgage, and you look at it, you know, you're paying all these years, and it's like no principal is ever paid off. It's all interest. It's a license to print money. Robin, we got to open a bank.
Absolutely. We should have done it a long time ago.
Absolutely.
The Howard
I want to be a bank.
The Howard Stern Show bank.
The Looney Tunes. There's a lot of nuts out there who save money.
It's great. I mean, you get a lot of hardworking Asian people to start paying you for loans.
Sure.
I tell you, we could really cash in. We put George on the board. That'll give us legitimacy.
That's what this country was built on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The banks are just, forget about it. And you charge for everything. When you've got their money, you charge them to get it back.
That's right.
That's right. There's fees involved.
I paid off a 30-year mortgage in 4 years, and God, did I piss that bank guy off.
Good for you, though. No, I believe in that.
Congratulations, Mr. Lang.
We need to start a bank where we can suck off the hard work of Asian people.
There are a lot of Asians.
Thrifty, hardworking.
They're very hardworking.
We need We need thrifty, hardworking Asians. That's our problem. Well, good for you, George, and congratulations on that meeting. It sounds impressive. I got to tell you.
I guess it's a meeting of how to rip off the thrifty, hardworking Asians some more.
Well, let me tell you,
it's legal.
Golden Security Bank is one of the most successful of its size, where net asset is $150 million.
So you've been very good at it.
We just celebrated our 25th anniversary.
Well, good for you.
Who are you rooting for on Survivor? The Asian team?
You know, I'm keeping my mind open to see how it all turns out.
I see.
I'm rooting for them all.
Do you watch Survivor?
Well, I saw the opening show.
Yeah. The blacks lost first week. And you know what? It was terrible because, you know, there was a lot of puzzles and building of a boat and stuff.
And it was water involved.
And the black people lost. And, you know, what happened
the next week, though?
Well, it's funny. The next week, the Hispanics lost, except they were trying to lose. They hated a guy in their tribe so much that they purposely slowed down to let the black team win.
Really?
They almost won anyway.
So the black team was going to come in last again?
According to the Hispanics, what it was is the blacks were lagging behind, and the Hispanics were moving too fast to even trying to lose. So they were like, Jesus, we almost won. They didn't want to win.
Right, but what I'm saying is if they had just gone on, the blacks would have been last again.
Yes, and this is not good. I mean, come on. There's enough racism.
Terrible.
But why do they hate a guy? The Hispanics hate a guy on their team so much they're willing to lose to see the guy lose?
Yeah, they wanted him out. They just didn't want to deal with him. He was this big fat guy who was like a metal freak, you know, like a metal rock fan. Oh. And he wasn't really...
He sounds annoying.
He was more... He said they should have a tribe of metalheads. He goes, I'm not all about being Hispanic.
I'm not Hispanic.
Yeah, he goes, some kind of... I mean, I guess I have a last name that's Hispanic. He goes, but I'm all about metal, and these guys are all Hispanic.
George, I apologize for my Go Team Whites socks that I'm wearing.
Arnie's big white.
That's all right. That's all right.
I mean, I figured the home team.
No, you got to be an individual. You set your own style.
Thank you, George.
George walked in, and I saw right away, saw Artie. You know, he has a special relationship with Artie.
We're like
we saw each other at the roast, and I told him I'd be coming to see him.
You had to see us in the makeup room of the William Shatner roast. It was like we were talking to each other, and everyone else is, well, of course, George, George and Artie are very good friends. It's just like a known thing now.
Yes.
But you know, Artie, I have a bone to pick with you.
What
you came here and you said that I was reading off the teleprompter.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I said you killed. I always said you killed.
Did say that.
Yeah.
And I was, they told me to,
I said it was
face
on the
that
teleprompter, right.
Because they said that the audience is out there. I was playing to the...
You're referring to the William Shatner roast.
William Shatner, the Bill Shatner roast.
You were very funny.
Well,
your lines were on the teleprompter.
They were on the teleprompter, but, they told me to look at the audience, not the individual that I was talking to.
But we debated when you actually said the great line that got a big laugh, fuck you and the horse. Now, wasn't that really from the heart? That looked like it was...
Oh, I waited 40 years to say that.
By the way, George is the announcer on this great half-hour sitcom we're going to run here on the Howard channels.
That's right.
The Bitter Half, and he is very funny in this.
Yeah?
Very good, and has a whole thing with Allison Norris. It's great. It's
you all are fantastic.
It's really
You've
good.
heard it?
Well, I read the script.
So you don't know how fantastic we are. But it's very, very funny, and I can't wait to play that. And that is coming soon for everyone.
When?
Yeah, when is that?
When?
We haven't scheduled an actual date. Sam wants to be here when we do it. We want to figure out a big way to have a premiere and all that.
I can't wait to hear it.
It's terrific. It really is. And by the way, George, I wanted to give you advice when you walked in here.
Yes.
That sweater wrapped around your shoulders?
I know.
It's a little gay.
I know it is.
Okay.
What do you want people to start talking?
You don't want people to think you're gay.
Well, being him, I'm wearing a Yankee hat. That's very heterosexual.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be who you are.
I don't understand why men wear sweaters wrapped around their shoulders. I always think it's like trying to look like a cape of some kind.
No, because it's not that cold, and it's it might be a little chilly, and you may need it. So
but it is a look.
Would you rather I tie it around my waist?
Yeah.
Would that be better?
No, but seriously, it's a look. I see guys walking around like country clubs and stuff with sweaters wrapped around their shoulders.
Yeah.
And it's a whole thing. I mean, the sweater has to match the shirt, and it's a whole deal. It's like so much goes into it.
Well, I just tossed this on me. I didn't particularly consider the color combination.
No.
You think it matches?
No. Artie, do you ever put your shoulder? Do you ever drape your sweater around your shoulder?
I don't think I've ever done that. No.
Why? Why not?
I don't know. I mean,
it's practical.
But I've never consciously said I'm not going to do this either. I guess it's some.
But why not?
I just did it.
But why not wrap like an umbrella around your shoulders too, in case it rains? I mean, like you could wrap all kinds.
Well, that doesn't make sense, does it?
You can't wrap an umbrella.
Oh.
You trying to make sense here? Come on, George.
Artie one time in high school wore a sweater wrapped around his shoulders, and his father beat him up.
Yeah, my father and all the black kids in shop.
Right. So anyway, George walked in, and he says to Artie, I've been hearing things about you. I've been hearing things about you. So I'm waiting to hear what the hell...
when someone says that to me these days, it could mean a variety of things.
The hair on the back of my neck ran up when he said that. I didn't know what he was referring to. What were you referring to, George?
Well, you've been discussing his addiction. And
I didn't know you heard that.
I want him to get addicted to the joys of life.
Good.
I thought you were going to say cock.
No.
Well, that's one of the joys.
That's one of the joys.
For you.
Well, that is, yes.
It is.
But, the simple joy.
For you and Robin, it is.
You don't know
I still want to take you through Central
Park.
Central Park. To see children
I
play.
love Central
Leaves
Park.
turning.
You could also cop heroin.
You cop heroin in Central Park? It's a good place to cop.
Let me take you through Harlem, Marty. And down at Washington Square Park. It's beautiful.
But George does bring up a good point about life. There are those who can appreciate, like, a beautiful snowfall or the leaves turning.
Absolutely.
Can be as good as anything.
That stuff.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I do.
It's better when you're high, though, right?
Everything is. This conversation will be way better high, George.
George, what about you? Have you ever tried heroin or any of the drugs?
No.
None, not one drug, no weed, nothing?
Well, yes. When I was a teenager, experimentally. Well, all right, I'll make a confession.
Oh, here we go again. Strap in, folks.
You tried pussy?
George?
Have you heard of what was called poppers?
Yeah.
You mean for your anus?
Amyl nitrate.
Not anal, the amyl, yes.
Amyl nitrate.
Amyl nitrate. That's for gay men to relax their sphincter.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And
I'd be taking that constantly if I were you.
you would. You would.
I want to relax
Would you?
the sphincter, sure.
You want to?
I would.
George, you tried poppers?
I did.
Did you like them?
Yes.
Was it a sexual aid, actually? Seriously?
It was.
It was, right. Where were you, at a party when you tried these poppers?
No.
Why
You
would you do it at a party?
At the baths.
At home?
No.
At
At
the
the
baths.
baths.
Oh, the baths, yes. They say
That was another time, though.
Now,
a whole different time.
Was this a portion of your life where you were just into poppers and going to the baths and...
No, I was selective about it, depending on who was there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you didn't just do this once.
Oh, no. No.
You
But
were
it's
lucky.
past now. It's past.
You were lucky back then having random sex with poppers and stuff that you didn't get sick, that you didn't get...
Yeah,
you were just lucked out,
You know,
right?
life is strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really so much luck.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel blessed in many ways.
Elton John has said that as well. He goes, it's a miracle. He goes, but
it really is.
Survived that period of time when it was a little bit more crazy, no condoms,
and the anxiety when, you started getting information and not knowing, what's going to happen next. That was terrible.
And they say that the poppers would relax a man's anus so much that there would be more anal sex, and the anal sex...
These sound defects that you have, yeah.
And the anal sex would cause tearing, and the poppers would actually help rush through the bloodstream the AIDS virus. So the combination of poppers and anal sex was very, very dangerous.
You're not relaxed as anus?
How can you have a conversation here?
What's all this going on?
George, what would the poppers do for you? It would open. How does it open up the man's sphincter?
Well, it's more the whole kind of the body thing happening, and this the warmth that prickles all through your body, and you see this glowing green thing, that in your mind that throbs.
Oh, you're getting Arnie turned on.
It's like
Arnie hears glowing green thing. Arnie, calm down. It's not that great.
It sounds like an acid trip or something.
It's a body rush, is what you're saying.
The whole body and the mind.
And then you would it relax you, and then you would have multiple sex partners?
No, they were singular.
Singular. One at a time.
But you do that, you'd be ready for anything with this partner.
Right. And that would open you up somewhat?
I feel like I'm on poppers right now.
George, would that open you up at all, the poppers? Would it sort of relax because I've only read about it.
You're just conscious of this whole... The whole body, feeling good.
You're not deterring people from taking this drug.
Doesn't sound horrible.
No, it's best to stay away from it. I think the pure, natural...
That would be too good.
I think a lot of people would be deterred, Robin, from a drug that helps you get fucked in the ass better.
You ever tried that drug, trinoacidol?
No. Oh, I didn't know you were a pharmacist.
Artie's done trinoacidol.
Me and Howard have been on that for years.
Well, let me tell you, George, congratulations on your own confession. They say confession will free the soul.
I feel freed.
Yes, you've admitted that in light of Artie's problem, you will come forward with your own...
Exactly.
Your popper problem.
Your popper problem.
It's gone.
Let's hope you beat that whole problem.
And I'm looking forward to my next high walk through Central Park.
Right. How many years?
Artie Lang.
How many years sober?
Well, I wouldn't call that sobriety. It's
how many years without poppers?
Well over. I mean, I've been together with Brad for 20 years now, and it's before him. So.
Oh, no poppers with Brad?
No.
By the way, I met Brad.
Yeah.
Yes, you
at
met
the
Brad.
roast, and what a conservative. Brad looks like a banker. He really does. I mean, he's a very conservative-looking guy.
He's always in suit and tie. Yes.
Very nice guy.
George likes that whole neat, crisp look.
Yeah.
I could tell.
Now, you could tell.
Opposites attract.
Oh, what does that mean?
All right. There he is, our
You're
announcer.
the artist, he's the businessman.
He is.
George, do you want to do an announce now? Would you introduce the show?
Yes,
I mean, I know we're way
yes.
into it, but perhaps you'd want to do an intro. Here we go. Give him a second, if you would. And then I'll read the results of the football pool, which are quite interesting.
Speaking of manly sports.
Hello, George Takei here. It's great to be back on the Howard Stern Show, sitting right next to my cuddly muffin, Artie Lang. A lot of things have happened since I was last year in June. Let me put my glasses on so I can see it clearly. Last June, Artie became a movie star.
Yeah, I did.
Robin became a race car driver. Fred Norris became the best-looking man on the show. And I came all over my partner's back. You're listening to the Howard Stern Show.
Glad you put your glasses on?
Aren't you glad you had your glasses on?
Yes.
I wanted to get it right.
Glad you saw that clearly.
George, thank you, and a pleasure and an honor to have you with us.
Great to be back with all of you.
Even if it's only 2 days, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get from you. And,
you will take it and you'll like it.
Oh, I gotta tell you what brought me to New York.
What?
I've been in
more shows?
Upstate New York, Port Henry. Have you heard of that? Right next to Lake Champlain.
No, I've never heard of Port Henry.
I did, would you believe, another Star Trek show.
No!
But it's got a wonderful and amazing backstory. You know, when Star Trek was canceled back in 1969, now, you know, this is our 40th anniversary. We began in 66 and we were canceled in 69.
Do you ever 69? I don't.
Maybe that was a symbolic date, wasn't it? And we went into reruns, and in syndication the ratings soared, and Paramount considered reviving Star Trek on TV again, and they commissioned about 7 or 8 scripts. Well, of course, they didn't go with the series, and the scripts lay dormant for all these years. And this director, Mark Zachary, found that script and put it together. A fascinating script, and of course the lead character in it is Sulu. And of course there is another amazing aspect of this whole thing. Star Trek fans have always been those that have determined the course of Star Trek history. You know, they're the ones that wrote letters and revived us for a 3rd season. They're the ones that supported the syndication and movies, spawned the movies and so forth. And now that Paramount isn't doing any more Star Trek, they decided to put together a company of their own, and they're producing Star Trek episodes that's going to be webcast, not play at your local
Are those
movie
the
theater.
6 episodes that starred Sulu that they're going to be shooting?
Well, I'm doing just one.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be a webcast next year. They're Walter Koenig did one, and it's going to be webcast, so a whole new platform. And Mark got together with these people, and they put together this production. And the guy who is producing this built an amazing replica of the Star Trek set up in, of all places, Port Henry, New York.
What kind of money are they budgeting for these episodes?
I think they have something like 100 or 200,000. I mean, it's very low budget. Yeah.
But they're
So are these live action?
No, yeah, they're filmed Star Trek episodes, and it's going to be webcast.
Yeah, but it's not, it's not just voice, it's real.
Oh, yeah, a real live
video and audio.
Budget so low, they had to get Beetlejuice to play William Shatner.
And they for their next episode, they want to get Artie to play Klingon.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, you're kidding? He's terrific.
How much makeup is that, George?
Well, as I said, this is low budget. You don't have to.
Heroin?
Yeah,
you already have a head start on looking like a Klingon.
Why? What do they look like?
They look like you.
Oh, they do? I'm not even sure what a Klingon is. That's how much of a guy I'm into.
I called Artie last night, and I said, you'd really die if you knew what I was doing right now.
What were you doing?
I was laying in bed watching my tape of The Biggest Loser. I love that show. Holy mackerel.
You are back into that. I knew it was
great.
coming back.
I saw when you called. I saw when you called, and it was almost 9 o'clock when you called.
Yeah, and I had another hour left on the show.
Why did it occur to you to call Artie and tell him what you were doing?
I called Artie to see how he was doing.
It was a very nice phone call. And I happened to be out. I went out to get some dinner, and when I got back, I was like, oh, wow, Howard called me. But it was almost 9 o'clock, and you were giving me your agenda. You were going to watch The Biggest Loser and then maybe Dancing with the Stars as well.
I was kidding around about it.
Oh, all right. I was going to say you're going to be up till 11 with this shit.
No, I was in bed by 10.
Oh, okay.
Beth was asleep.
So
like she was laying there almost naked, and I watched The Biggest Loser, and she fell asleep. I probably could have had sex, but I passed on that for The Biggest Loser. It shows you my commitment to that show.
So Biggest Loser right now is in production with new episodes.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah. What was that, the 2-hour premiere?
I'll tell you why it's fabulous.
And that was the premiere.
Yeah, it's these obese people who literally, I love makeovers. So when people lose a lot of weight and they look different, I love. One guy lost 23 pounds in 1 week. I just love to see the difference.
23 pounds?
This guy weighed 403.
Oh, my goodness.
There were women on there weighed as much as Artie. Artie weighs now 282, George.
282.
It's awful, George.
Yeah. 282.
That's a heroinless line.
But you can do it. You can lose.
Heroinless
So
line.
they're basically Artie's with breasts.
Yeah. They sound hot.
There were women who weighed 265 pounds. I said, that's as much, and even this one woman said it's as much as big guys weigh.
But remember the weight loss contest years ago at K-Rock, Benji? What did you lose that first week, Ben? You lost like 30 pounds in a week when you really want to do it.
Yeah.
30?
Almost 30 you lost.
Yeah, like 20, something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the fat on him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really trying, I guess, and you bulk up.
He's got titties, he's got everything going on.
But to lose it fast is not very healthy.
Yeah, and 30 pounds is not real weight. That's a lot of water.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not...
And you're going to gain it right back.
I'll take it.
But you said there's chicks on there that...
What they do is they purposely pick chicks so you can tell if they lose weight, they're going to be hot.
Even at 265?
You can tell they got nice faces and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Because 265, that's a lot of shit to weed through. That's a lot of weight to weed.
That's a hot girl.
That's what it's all about. I'm telling you, I love movies where like the teenage girl's real ugly and then some friend in school fixes her up and then all of a sudden she's the hottest chick and she gets revenge. I love watching these chicks transform into hot chicks. I'll wait 17 weeks to see them lose weight just to see if they're hot.
Me and, it's so funny. Like, me and Frank Sebastiano are such a big fan of yours, too. When we were making Beer League, we were like, God, to get Howard to definitely like this, can we at least have like a side story where an ugly chick gets hot?
Yeah, that's all you need. See, the movie I want to make with you, Artie, is a remake of the movie Marty.
Oh, yeah.
Ernest Borgnine?
Yeah, you'd be really good at that.
Yeah.
It's
a wonderful
you
role.
You don't have to do anything on it.
It got Ernest Borgnine an Oscar, didn't
I'll get you the Oscar, pal.
I remember it.
I'm going to do it on a $200,000 budget. I'm going to get those Star Trek maniacs in there.
I remember watching the Poseidon Adventure and somebody telling me that Ernest Borgnine had an Oscar. I couldn't believe it.
You know what? The worst, though, on this weight loss show is when someone loses all the weight and they're still ugly. That's really a drag.
Yeah, why did you bother?
Yeah, but it's great. Anyway, an honor to have George here.
Yes.
Great
to be back. It's an honor to be back.
One quick question, George, before I move on. When you were at the Shatner roast.
Yes.
And there you are roasting William Shatner, a man that you have said it was not very nice to you, to say the least.
Well, he's the one that made Star Trek what it is. I mean, Captain Kirk should only have been played by.
I'm talking about, though, when you work with someone, no matter how big they are.
Yes.
They should at least be somewhat humble and be nice to their coworkers.
Yeah, be civil to...
Be gracious.
Yeah. And a smart actor knows that, a scene works when you work with the people around you.
Yeah.
It's the interchange, and it's listening to the others as well.
What was it like when you stood on that stage? I'm sure you haven't really had conversation with William Shatner in quite some time.
Well, at conventions we meet. And
yes, but here you're doing him a favor. In fact, it was sort of sad and indicative of what you say might be true. There weren't many of his close friends there. Leonard Nimoy was not there.
Right. He was there on film.
None of his co-workers from his new television show were there.
Right.
This was very unusual to me. Now, you showed up and were really doing him a favor. Having someone there from the old Star Trek cast, Uhura, this is important to him. You did him a favor. You made him look good, in a sense. Did he thank you? Did he go up afterwards and really say something kind to you?
Well, by being there, I was hoping that he would learn something, because, it's
the whole history of our relationships. You know, when any of us, members of the Star Trek cast, got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, we all went there for the unveiling, you know, to congratulate each other and so forth. And Gene Roddenberry was the first to get a star. Bill never showed for none of them.
Right.
And when he got his star, we never knew about it until we read about it in the papers, you know.
So he didn't want you there.
So, you know, I think it's important that we support each other. And I was hoping that by my being there, that sends a message, because he wanted me to be there.
Do you think it worked? Did he say to you afterwards, thank you, George?
He did say thank you.
Was that it? Just thank you? Or was there conversation?
No, thanks. He said, you know, the usual, I appreciate it, which he said to everybody.
But do you really think he learned anything?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. Because, you know, Nichelle and I were the only ones there.
Nichelle Nichols Uhura.
Right.
Yes.
Well, me and the other comedians were saying that the guy who is the most valuable player here is George, because not only was he hilarious, and not only is he an original Star Trek guy, but he also, you know, is the brunt of a lot of the jokes.
I had no idea it was going to be a two-way street.
and then you got up and killed anyway, so you were responsible for more laughs probably than anybody there, I would say.
Some of it at my cost.
Yeah, and you gave it out too. You were great, though.
A lot of people commented on you being gay. That was
yes, they did.
Something they attacked.
Oddly enough.
Yeah,
I had my man connection.
Marty defended you.
I did. I was Rose.
That's right. Well, there
he
you
was
go.
Great.
Yes. Well, congratulations.
Cuddly muffin.
Congratulations. You were very funny on that. And,
well, thank you.
Not easy to be funny. It's a tough business. All right. Well, there he is. George Takei is here, Robin, all morning long.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it.
Well, I had...
Yeah, you know, one thing I accomplished, I hope this took. You know, for 40 years, Bill's been mispronouncing my last name, Takei, you know. And so I said, you know, I couldn't get it into his noggin that it was Takei. So I told him, it's Takei. I can toupee. I got it onto his noggin.
He acts like no one knows he wears a toupee, yet everyone knows.
We all know. I mean, and I think, you know, he's got to know that we know, because the older he gets, the thicker and darker and lusher his head gets.
Carpeting. But, you know, the toupee technology has increased at this point. I would imagine in the early days of Star Trek, when he was just beginning to lose his hair, that the toupees weren't very good.
No, they were amazing.
They were.
They were very
Did he wear the toupee on Star Trek?
Oh, yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking
but
about
they were more
the
believable then.
On the TV show.
On the TV show.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. On TV show. But it was very well done.
I mean, that's unblockable.
That was believable. The toupee that he had on.
That's why it's been so funny over the years that his hairline has gotten lower.
And the hair's gotten darker and thicker.
And thicker, yeah.
Right.
It's got to be. It probably was a source of humor for so many years. Like, I wonder what his hair will be today. But, you know, it's funny. Have you ever seen him without the toupee? Have you ever caught him in the dressing room completely bald?
In the morning, he came with his hat on.
Yes.
And I had the dressing room door happened to be a little ajar, and I saw him take his hat off, and then the door closed.
It's like that Darth Vader thing in Return of the Jedi.
If you could get a picture of that, it would be fabulous.
The tabloids would love that.
If only I had my camera then.
Right. You need to have one of those little cameras. All right, the great George Takei.
Oh my. I love Oh my. I love Big Dog. Oh my. I love early teens.
I don't know where to begin. I got so much stuff for you. So much to talk about. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I want to say hi to George Takei, our announcer, who was with us today only, yesterday and today in 2 days, and then he goes to a banking meeting in San Francisco. Is that right?
Good morning. Yes. I've enjoyed yesterday, and I'm looking forward to the next time I can visit, but unfortunately, this party is ending for me today.
Your cuddly muffin Arnie is not sitting next to you today. He is late. He is out scoring. restoring. I mean, he's out changing a flat. He got a flat tire.
Oh, my.
Sure, likely story.
There you go. Look at you skeptic. Let me start off by, believe me, I don't know where to start off because I'm over-prepared today. I have a lot of material. Did you want to do an announce first, George, to get us into the show?
Well, here's one here.
All right.
Did you know that I once worked with the legendary John Wayne? Do you know that I'm the voice on the intercom at the Memphis International Airport? Do you know that I am friends with Russell Crowe? So what the hell am I doing on a show with Richard Christie and Sal the stockbroker? I'm going to call my agent and get him and tell him what an asshole he is. Just kidding. I love the Howard Stern Show.
That was a cold read, I think.
It was. Sounded like it, didn't it?
Perfect.
Yes. It's a great thing about the show. You can be the announcer and not really put that much energy in.
Why study? Why rehearse?
I don't believe the Russell Crowe part.
I was going to say, are you friends with Russell Crowe?
Well, I did a film, an Australian film with Brian Brown. I played the commandant of a prison camp, and it's a war crimes trial story. And there was this young actor who had a tiny little part. It was his first movie. He played the assistant to Brian Brown, who was a prosecuting attorney. He was like a puppy dog. He wanted to kiss up to Brian Brown, but Brian wouldn't have it. And so he would sit next to me, and we'd chit-chat, and I'd tell him, amongst many things, that I'm a runner, and I run in the morning. And so he said, "Oh, what time do you run?" And the next morning, there he was at the hotel, waiting for me to run with him.
So you are friends with Russell Crowe.
And when I was doing a play in London, and he happened to be coming through London promoting his new movie. The movie I did, Blood Oath, was his first movie. And his next movie was his breakthrough movie called Romper Stompers. Mm-hmm. And he was promoting the movie in London. And so he called, when he saw that I was doing a play there. And he said, let's have dinner. And so we've been kind of...
Did you go to the wedding?
No, I did not.
You're not that good a friend.
No, we're not that good a friend.
Yes or no? Be honest. Did you kiss him?
I know. He's very straight.
He is.
Very straight.
All right. Okay.
You couldn't bend him.
Sometimes that's a challenge that the gay men like, to change someone over from straight to gay.
Oh, no. We respect each other.
Yes.
You are mine. My needs, my possession.
Did you get the idea, though, that, he's coming to run with you in the morning, that maybe
Did you think he wanted you?
He's a very ambitious guy.
I see that.
And the two of us, Brian Brown and I were, the leads, and he wanted to, be with us. But now I want to be with him.
Right.
It's hard to find.
You're trying to figure out what time he runs.
Yeah. I want to run with you. Sal, go ahead. 2 truths and a lie. Now, ma'am, you got to guess which one is truth. Oh, you have to actually guess the lie. That's the way it works. Okay. Sal, go ahead.
Okay. I once vomited while giving oral sex to a man.
Wow.
I think we've all done that.
Not me.
Speak for yourself, sweetie.
Honey, I never throw up a drop.
I once used a racial slur towards a Jewish co-star.
Ooh. Go ahead.
My first sexual experience was with my camp counselor.
Oh,
that was a good one.
All right. Mm-hmm. Now, where's the lie in this?
Well, I'm going to guess. This is just a guess. I believe he did vomit while blowing a guy.
Oh.
I do, George. I hate to say it. I do believe that. I can't imagine George Takei using a Jewish slur. He's just not that kind of guy. He's such a loving man, but maybe he lost it. The camp counselor, unless it was a concentration camp.
Yeah, well, he was in the internment camp. Is that the camp he's talking about?
If he's talking about an internment camp, but if it's a summer camp, I don't believe George Takei went to summer camp. First of all, mostly Jews go to summer camp.
There are no Asian summer camps?
There's no such thing as an Asian summer camp, as far as I know.
Asians don't camp.
If he's saying a camp counselor, and I hardly think at an internment camp you refer to people as camp counselors. All right. So I'm going to say, not that it matters, but I think the false item, gee, could he have used a Jewish racial slur? All right. All right, I'm going to go with the camp counselor story because I don't believe George Takei went to camp.
All right.
So you say that's false.
I say that's
false. And we're playing with the lady on the phone, the woman on the phone.
Yeah, what do you say? Well, let's see what Robin says. What do you think?
I think it's that he threw up during oral sex.
You think he can handle anything?
I think he's
a pro.
Yeah.
There's nothing about that. What do you think, Artie?
I think anyone who has blown a guy has thrown up doing it. I would think at least once or twice.
Every time for you.
My line of thinking is two of them are sexual, and I can't see George ever saying, I agree with Howard, anything insulting in a racial way. Also, maybe he's
George was a young man once.
I know. Well, I mean...
dirty he.
Maybe the Shatner. Maybe Shatner pissed him off enough.
You kike.
If George used a racial slur, it would really... I believe he would be honest about it.
Right.
But boy, it would be something if he did. You know?
Well, maybe Shatner made him that mad.
For George, it might be you, Jew.
Yeah. You know what?
Or anything. Yeah.
It would really prove that everyone in the world hates the Jews. Because I figured George was the one last holdout.
Yeah.
It really would be. It would be logical. So what do you say is the fake one?
You got me thinking now with the Shatner one. All right. You know what? I'll be different here and say that the fake one is the camp counselor.
That's what I said.
That's Howard picked that one already.
Yeah. That's okay. You can
but that's what I honestly feel.
He could have even said, you matzo eater. It doesn't have to be a terrible...
You matzo eater. You matzo eater. Fred, what do you think is the fake one? I mean, what do you think is the true one?
I'm almost certain number 3 is true. And who compiled this list? Was it Sal?
Yeah.
I think Sal wants to bait us with the racial slur one, but I'm going to go against that totally and say number 1, vomited during oral sex.
Number 1 is false.
All right, you're with me.
Okay, so Fred and Robin say number 1 is false. Say one's vomited while giving oral.
Fred and Robin say, yes,
number 1 is false. And Howard and Artie say number 3 is false.
But what is our guest on the phone say?
That's the most important.
What would you like to say, miss?
I'm going to have to go with the racial slur. I don't think...
Okay.
You think the racial slur is not true?
Oh, I hope I'm right, Howard.
Right, Walter Koenig is a moneylender.
All right, so you think the lie is the racial slur?
Gene Roddenberry is a secret Jew.
All right, listen, who knows? All right, let's see how she did. Is she coming to the Gary Roast or not?
Oh, please.
Should I answer this like Mike Walker, Howard, or for 20 minutes?
Sal, just get to it.
Fred Norris hit the nail right on the head. I baited everybody with the racial slur. The lady got it right. Howard, Artie, Robin are all wrong.
Oh, my
Miss,
God.
you won the tickets to the roast.
Good, well, I'm glad. I should have stayed with my first
The lie was that George never used a racial slur.
That's correct. He did puke sucking a cock, and he did have sex with a camp counselor.
You know what, Alyssa? You know I admire you. You're your own woman. Fred, Robin, Howard, Artie all said different things.
We tried to sway you. Yeah.
That's
I
right.
was tempted to go with Robin. Robin, you're always right.
Yes.
I didn't do it. I stuck to my guns.
Good for you.
Well, congratulations. You really do know me.
So
no
George.
racial slur.
No racial slur.
I'm proud of you.
I don't believe in that.
I remember George telling a story of the camp counselor a while back.
I thought I remembered that, too.
That's why.
George, where did you go to summer camp?
At Lake Arrowhead in Southern California, Los Angeles.
Am I right in saying that most Asians, young Asians, do not go to summer camp?
No, we do.
He was there with a bunch of Jews.
It was a mixed summer camp.
Were there other Asians there, or were you the only Asian gentleman?
There were other Asians there.
How old were you at the time?
I was 13 there.
And you, you blew your counselor?
No, I was very young.
Yes.
And
13 is young.
And
yes.
he was an older teenager. He was a camp counselor.
19, would you say?
He was about 18 or 19,
Yeah.
And he was experienced.
Yes.
And we each had cabins, and he was the counselor in my cabin.
He could tell that you were a gay man? Was it evident at 13?
No, it wasn't.
No.
But
were you sure at that point you were gay?
No, I was not sure.
Right.
But you liked the camp counselor?
I liked him. He was blonde.
Oh.
He had I still remember the blonde forearm.
Oh, my God.
Where did it go?
Are you feeling uncomfortable?
You said you were comfortable sitting next to a gay guy.
Yes, I am very comfortable.
Well, yeah, and I've been comfortable sitting next to a straight guy all my life.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, it's you may have been sitting next to a gay guy many times and not known it.
You're right.
Here you know it.
I hope not.
So you go on. You remember the blonde forearm?
Yes.
And how did he seduce you?
Well, he started touching me, and
I mean, wait a minute. Did he came into your cabin?
Yes.
You two were alone.
Yes.
He sits down next to you on the bed?
Yes.
How were you alone at summer camp?
We were in the cabin.
And where were the boys? Where were the other boys?
They were off hiking or something. Or
doing
something was
little
happening.
boy thing.
Somehow you managed to stay behind.
Yes.
Do you think subconsciously you stayed behind because you wanted to be alone with him?
No. There was some kind of reason why I had to be there, and he was.
You were on your period?
He was going to teach me something.
Oh, right. Yes, he was.
And you sat there, and he touched you, and did you feel molested in a way?
What?
Were you molested in a sense because you were 13?
Because I was kind of willing. I thought he was pretty attractive.
Right.
And he was.
And you wanted to know why you felt this way.
Yes.
Today's lesson: how to turn a blonde arm brown.
Now, wait a minute. What does he do? So he starts touching you how?
I don't know if I need to hear all
No,
that.
I mean, does he put a hand on your knee, or does he put his arm around your shoulder?
Around my shoulders, and then,
He blew you.
He started, touching the private parts.
Was he gazing into your eyes the whole time? Was he saying anything?
Oh, yeah, he was telling me about, how
he's gay.
Works.
And what did he do? Did he perform oral sex on you?
It was a hand job.
Hand job.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
But did he kissing?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, sure. Who wants a hand job without kissing?
I don't know how these things work.
And did you have multiple affairs with him during the summer? Was he one of many liaisons?
You're not quite sure. It was both wonderful and scary and kind of intimidating and delightful. I mean, all those opposites,
Right.
And
were you pining away for him all summer?
Well, that occasion never occurred, but it was there was an element of scariness at the same time because you're very young, and the whole thing is. I mean,
you think he was worried you would tell other people?
No, I don't think so. No.
Had you had an orgasm before?
No, that was the first time.
Wow.
First time.
So that is scary.
Yeah, that was.
Did you beat off the rest of the summer?
No. Yes, it was back home, not at camp.
And he was your only one that summer?
He was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't share this information with anybody else?
I didn't share it with anybody else until this morning when Sal's mind is. I hadn't thought of that for a long time, and he dredged that out of me.
Yes.
And the other one was something I hadn't talked about.
The throwing up.
Yeah, but Brad didn't know about it. I wonder if I told him. This was when I was backpacking through Europe, something that you do.
When you were fudge packing through Europe.
And I was at this taberna in
Taberna, okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to a taberna. I don't even know what that is.
A tavern.
Oh, a tavern. A taberna. I thought a taberna. What's a taberna?
It's a tavern, place where you go to eat
where you
and
go
drink.
to eat and drink.
Yeah, I thought it was a tavern.
We call it a bar.
Yes, I was at a taboon.
Madrid.
In Madrid, it's a tavern.
In Madrid.
You know you're gay if you say tavern.
These boys never leave the country.
Right.
Oh.
Taverna sounds like a gay bar to me. Yes.
Well, as a matter of fact, he was an American.
Like a tavern is where a guy goes to get a drink. A taverna would be...
It's where you go and get blown.
Oh, no, it didn't happen there. It didn't happen
So you went to a taverna.
Yes, and I met this... he was an American, blonde. He'd been living in Madrid for some time. He was an artist.
And
how do you find a gay guy? You get up and go, anyone else call this place a taverna?
Were you drinking a beer?
At the taverna.
Well, he invited me up to his apartment to see his artwork.
Etchings, yes.
Very dangerous, this lifestyle of yours. You're busy running around with strangers, but go ahead.
I'm interested in art.
Right. I bet you were.
And he had some whiskey up there in his apartment, and we drank some more. And I think it was more the drinking.
You were a little sick.
Yes.
So you started blowing them.
Yes.
And did it smell down there? Maybe that was the problem. Maybe that's what turned you off.
No, but by this time I had, more than a few experiences. And
did you get excited and go, hey, maybe I'm not gay? I just had a normal reaction.
Artie, I wish I'd known you then.
I just threw up blowing a guy. Wait a minute, I might not be gay.
You would have given me good guidance.
Dad, great news.
I'm straight.
Remember you told me what I should do when I blow a guy? I just did it.
Where were you when I needed you?
So, George, you blow the guy, and what happened?
Well, you're in the midst of it.
Did he put it down too far, your throat?
No, I think it was more the drinking that did it.
So
was it right away that you threw up?
No.
I thought maybe he had mushroom day.
He did. He was coming.
Oh,
wonderful!
He was coming, and you were throwing up.
Well, that kind of triggered the gagging.
Yeah.
And fortunately,
so you met his jizz with yak.
So you threw up all over his penis?
No. The toilet was right there. So he had a very.
You were giving him a blumpkin? Story gets better.
That's when you blow a guy on the toilet. All right. Well, congratulations.
There I was on my knees hugging that toilet bowl.
Of course.
Really drunk. Oh, was I drunk that night?
God, I'm drunk with cock. It was that last cock.
It's one too many cocks. All right, George. Well, that's incredibly honest of you. And Alyssa, you have won, believe it or not, tickets to the Gary Roast, which are few and far between. I think I only have like 4 to give away.
Lucky you.
Well, I have one more game, Howard, so if you want to play one later or now, it's up to you.
So you have 2 tickets. Okay, Alyssa?
Is that the same game about me?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm gonna put you on hold.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. Well, that was a fun game.
Yes.
I have so much to get to, but do you want to...
Dare we?
I'm looking at my schedule here. Hold on. Meet a pregnant woman who continues to... Oh, my goodness. I've got a letter from her. I'm not going to say what that is. Katie and Holly, 2 British girls who want to ride the Sibian.
Oh, really?
Although people are telling me they're bored with the Sibian. Maybe I'll throw them right out of here.
Is that true? Where's that coming from? Stern Fan Network?
Some guys wrote in and said they had enough Sibian. Rod Barry... a gay porn star. You'll like this, George. A gay porn star who claims he's straight. He says he just does the gay stuff for money.
Is that possible?
No.
Oh.
No. Well, they're pretty good actors.
Yeah, but they're having real sex in those porn movies.
I mean, George is gay and he's throwing up. Imagine what a straight guy. Has any guy here ever thrown up giving oral to a chick? I came damn fucking close.
Really?
What was going
on with you?
A stinker broad hat.
It wasn't the taverna before?
No. This chick was, she let the evil out.
Oh, yeah? It smelled so bad you almost vomited?
It was really bad.
Hey, George, icky girls, huh?
Yeah. Oh, now. Did you continue, or did you...
No, I popped right up, and I had regular sex with her. That's the thing about your dick, you don't care. You send your dick right into that battle.
What do you have, 2 truths and a lie again?
Yeah, I have one.
All right, you want to play this?
It's up to you. We could go to it later or now, whatever.
Well, we'll go later, maybe.
Okay.
But remind me, I don't want to lose.
Yeah,
I'll remind you.
Great game.
All right, thank you, Sal.
And George is also composing a list today, just like Robin did, of the best to worst looking guys on the crew.
Oh, very nice.
I haven't done it yet. I don't know.
Start
do it
working
now.
on it. It's good.
I don't know whether I want to do that.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
I did
You're
it.
all my friends.
I did
You're all
it.
wonderful, good
Robin
looking,
did it.
I did it.
intelligent,
You have to
witty.
do it.
No, you need to do it.
How can I rate you all?
Just looks. You're rating on looks.
And we won't be insulted. Don't worry. we're hideous.
You're pretty thick-skinned, callous people.
After what they do to you with those cutting up those things, go for it.
Right. That's right. I guess so. This is my chance to give them their comeuppance.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, Sal. And come back in and out. Well, you want to get it out of the way now?
I'll remind you. I promise.
I can give away another pair of tickets. I had 4 to give away. You know.
For the Gary Roast. When is the Gary Roast?
Soon. October 5th. October 5th.
Ah, nice. Okay.
That's going to be a good one. One you won't want to miss. Yes, Jim, you're on the air in Scranton.
Hey, Howard. Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Dude, I have been a listener of yours for over 20-plus years. We lost you a couple years ago on the local station here, but as soon as I found out about Sirius, I went and bought one for me, my wife, and I got my niece one and my brother-in-law, too.
Good.
The best thing ever. Best $13 I could spend a month.
All right.
Thank you.
Is it, could I play for the tickets for the roast?
Yeah, maybe we should then. Let this guy.
Yes, certainly sparking some interesting conversations.
I have so much to talk to you about, Howard. There's no way I'd have time. I mean, over the last 25 years or so, you've done so many things for me. It's amazing.
All right. Well, Jim is a super fan. That's clear. And let's see if we can't get him a pair of tickets to the Gary Roast.
If someone's got my coffee out there, please bring it in.
All right, so there we go.
I used to live in New York. I live in Pennsylvania.
All right, Jim.
I used to live down the Palisades in New York State.
Good. 2 truths and a lie. Pick out the lie, and you're coming to the roast.
Okay.
Here we go.
I once allowed a complete stranger in a bar to see my genitals.
Okay. I believe that.
I once
George now, right?
That's right.
Yeah, this is George. 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
I once experimented with a candlestick in my rectum.
Oh.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I once came in my pants while holding onto a man on the back of a motorcycle.
Wow.
Oh, that's hard. They're all possibly true.
See, I think this one's easy.
Yeah?
I do for some reason.
I once came in my pants
on the back of a motorcycle while holding onto a guy.
That's kind of difficult.
All right, Artie, why do you think this is easy? Go ahead.
Again, with the Fred theory of what Sal might make up, I don't think George put a candle in his ass.
Well, listen to it.
I think he did, but he won't admit it.
I mean, I don't know. That just strikes me as being the obvious one. I could be completely
because
wrong.
I was totally blown away by each one.
I once allowed a complete stranger to see my genitals while sitting at a bar.
All right.
I once experimented with a candlestick in my rectum.
Experimented.
I once came in my pants.
What did you discover?
While holding onto a man on the back of a motorcycle.
I know for sure, unless I'm nuts, that the number 3 is true. I once came in my pants.
How do you know that?
Because they just know. That's so George.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense.
I can even hear him go, I got so excited holding on to him, I came in my pants. And not only that, I was driving the motorcycle, so I know. Remember, my back was wet. All right, so I believe that is true. Now, the thing is, what is the lie we want to know? Complete stranger in a bar, genitals? Yeah, I can see that.
That seems pretty
I'm with
reasonable,
Artie.
right?
I think I'm with Artie.
I agree with you and Artie.
Okay. Fred, you want to make it a clean sweep?
The motorcycle is impossible.
The motorcycle is impossible.
I don't know. Maybe it was a good mislead with Sal, but I think that candle thing is...
Was it a real motorcycle, one of them cheesy scooters?
Well, don't ask any questions. Rob and Artie,
you can't ask questions.
Rob and Artie and Howard say the candlestick in the rectum. Fred says the motorcycle story. But really, what's most important, Jim, is what you think. What do you say?
I gotta go with the numbers. I gotta go with the odds.
All right.
You guys.
Well, the last lady didn't, and she won, so.
All right, Jim says the lie is a candlestick in the rectum. That George, while wild and certainly open about his lifestyle.
Was that a tapered one or one of those big ones?
All right, let's go.
Fat one.
I think I want George to tell us.
Yes, George, please tell us.
Which one is the lie?
The caller does get the ticket to the Gary Roast.
Yeah, baby.
All right, Jim, hold on.
Congratulations.
You've won a pair of tickets to the Gary Roast.
Two things were completely believable that a sentimental gay guy might go through, and one was completely made up by a stockbroker from Long Island. You shoved a candle in your ass.
How much you want to bet Sal's put a candle in his ass?
That's where it came from. He didn't make it up.
The toothbrush I did.
Let me experiment.
Did you put a toothbrush in your ass?
When I was like 14, just the tip of it.
That's not gay.
Only the tip.
Hold not the bristle side.
Jim, can you hold on?
Yeah, Howard, I got one question.
Quickly.
I drive a garbage truck, and I've been driving a different truck the last couple of days, and I don't have my satellite in the truck.
Yes.
I missed the whole Artie experience, his revelation. I missed it. I've been trying to catch...
Well, Artie was with a man.
Artie's gay.
He's gay.
I threw up sucking a cock in a taverna.
It gave me a new chapter in our book of books.
Jim, hold on.
Thank you.
All right.
What are we going to give him, that on tape?
Well, there are replays on the weekends of all the shows.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll hear it, too.
You don't want to miss that.
Hey, Howard?
Yeah.
Since we're in the gay motif, are you interested in hearing sound bites from the gay porn star who's not gay?
Not right now. We're
He's
talking to
coming
George.
up anyway.
We know about that. You showed a complete stranger in a bar your genitals. Why would you do that?
Well, he says I was sitting. We were standing at a bar.
Right.
About 15 years ago, I was asked to be the chieftain of the Highland Games. Can you imagine me at the Highland Games in Scotland in Bearsden? And
so were you wearing a kilt?
I was wearing a kilt, and I did my research beforehand, and I know the authentic way of wearing a kilt, so I wore it that way.
Which is what? Not wearing any underwear?
No underwear.
Right.
It's one raw. And
you must have loved that.
Well, it gets pretty breezy over there in the Highlands. And after a day of the Highland Games, and there was this caber thrower. You know what a caber is?
No, I don't know
any of this. Highland Games, caber.
Log. It's like a log.
Okay.
It's like, it is a log, like a telephone pole.
Oh,
and these beefy guys throw them. That's the contest. And after a day of all that, we were in the pub and standing at the bar, and we were having weed drums, shots of whiskey.
Right.
But enough wheeze and the impact.
You had a drink.
And the caber thrower said to me, "You're an American. You don't know how to wear this, the kilts properly." I said, "Oh, yes, I do." And he was drunk enough to, well, he picked up my skirt, my kilt, and pulled it up, and he said, "By Jove, he is."
All right,
so I didn't expose myself. He exposed me.
You.
How did you come in your pants on the back of the boat? Fred says that's impossible.
That's impossible.
No, it's not.
Impossible? Well, Fred, let me take you on a motorcycle ride.
No, thank you.
What happened,
George has done the impossible.
I was very young. So you have to, Fred, when you're young, you're very easily.
That's true, but usually a chick's involved.
All right. He's gay. Yeah,
I understand that now.
Go ahead, George.
I was a student at the Shakespeare summer school at the Shakespeare Institute at Stratford.
I went to summer school, too.
Was it the Shakespeare Institute?
It was for Jim.
In England.
Yeah, go ahead.
At Stratford-upon-Avon.
Yes.
And there was this guy who was commuting from Warwickshire. And he was blonde, very good actor.
Always a blonde.
You're a sucker for the blonde.
And he wore this leather jacket. This was the Marlon Brando period. And he came to school on his motorcycle. And he took me for a ride on the back.
And your penis was pressing against his back?
I was grabbing his body encased in leather and all that vibrating, and my
and you shot your load.
Legs were hugging the
Was your penis pressed against his back? Is that what it was? Was he a gay man?
The vibration.
Did he know that you came? Or
no. He was straight.
Oh, and but you must have been a mess when you.
George, is it raining?
How did you hide what was going on?
Artie, if George came on your back, it would be a problem, right?
Yeah, we'd have to, pull over and discuss it.
Ride back to my bed and breakfast, and so I got up and I went straight back in.
Wow, so you must have been surprised that happened.
It was surprising.
I understand that.
It was kind of good.
I was at Scores one time with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend was getting a lap dance, and she was between my legs, so my penis was pressing against her back, kind of. And I was watching her get a lap dance, and it turned me on so much I shot my load. And I wasn't even touching myself or anything.
And you didn't have that vibration going through your crotch.
It was the strangest experience of my life because I wasn't, sort of touching myself or doing anything other than, it just was the hottest thing I ever saw, and I blew it.
I can understand George's thing in the sense that if I was on a motorcycle with a chick I was attracted to and you're rubbing up against it, I guess maybe you come. But, my God, what kind of Neanderthal are you, George?
Well, I tell
Fred, you've been missing out on one of the life experiences.
Well, Fred's a biker.
That's why I ride alone.
You want to give George a ride?
No, that seat's only big enough for one.
Well, George, thank you for those revelations, and 2 truths and a lie, and a couple of people are coming to the Baba Booey roast, which is going to be a fun morning for us here on the radio.
And all over America, they know my checkered past.
Yes, you're not shy, and I like that about you. You certainly fit into the Howard Stern show. Artie revealing things, I reveal things, Robin, Fred, and now you. Good for you, George. All right, we're going to take a break. That's our announcer, George Takei, and it's always great to have him here. If only for 2 days, we'll take whatever we can get from you. We love when you're here. We're going to take a break, and Artie just moved his seat away from you.
Coming on a motorcycle gets you kicked out of the Hells Angels,
Hey, that's a nice black leather jacket.
Let me help you change your tires.
Chico came on Vinny, did you hear?
Brad, go ahead in Tucson, Arizona, then I'll take a break, and then we should...
oh, my God, my Brad may be listening.
Yes, Brad.
You think this gets you in trouble at home?
Anybody caught the Andy Dick show?
I did not. How did Andy do?
The shit show?
I thought it was awful.
I heard just moments of it. I didn't really hear enough to make an assessment.
Was it terrible?
I don't even know what they were talking about. I just heard Andy's voice for a minute, and then I was like, I don't have time to listen, so I didn't get to hear.
Half the show's doing apologies to people that he had pissed off for doing things to across the country.
Andy has such an interesting life and gets into so many weird scenes that if my recommendation to Andy, and I didn't hear the show yet, I will listen to it, and Gary, maybe you can pull some clips from it, but my recommendation for Andy would just be to talk about his life in the most real way you could.
Right. Whatever he did last night was probably more interesting than most of what you hear on the radio.
Yeah, so...
Well, I told him on the Bill Shatner roast, you got to tone it down a little bit to be believable. He's so over the top.
Yeah. I got creepy. And he's a talented guy.
Definitely.
He's funny,
Well, I think
I love those little songs he does.
Wouldn't Andy be great if he could get on and go, you know what? I didn't feel I did well at the Shatner roast, so I frantically started licking people, and that would be just so awesome. So, I don't know. I didn't hear Andy's show.
I only heard him. He was commenting on Steve-O peeing on the red carpet, and he thought that was great.
He thought he liked that.
That makes sense.
See, that sounds interesting to me. All right, we're going to take a break. Thanks for the call, Brad, and we'll be back right. Everybody, what's happening? And welcome to a Wednesday? Yeah.
Yes, good guess.
Wednesday. I knew it. That's the way I am. I'm on top of things. That's why I'm a radio broadcaster. Well. Intern show tonight. Love that show. I miss Mr. Sulu.
I know, he's gone.
Gary, bring me a charming gay Asian man for my amusement. Great guy, great guest. I tell you, I read the email every day. Fred usually compiles a bunch of email, and all of them love George Takei on the show. I'll read you a couple. George Takei is a good sport, a real positive addition to the show. Cheers to George. Here's another one. What a pleasure having George Takei back in the studio. Not only is he a terrific announcer, he also blends in well with the rest of the gang because he's honest and he's not afraid to laugh at himself. And after all, those two qualities are what makes the Stern Show unique. Whether he's coming on to an Arkansas redneck struggling with Tourette's or describing his tryst with bin Laden, George takes it all in stride and recognizes the sheer hilarity of it all. Long live Mr. Sulu. Here's another guy. I love when George Takei is on the show. I love to hear his stories about homosexual culture, and his laugh is infectious. Please, Howard, tie that fruit to a chair and keep him there. Here's another one. I've been a loyal listener since 1995. I never miss a show. I only email when I think it's really important. George Takei makes me laugh the entire show. The guy is perfect and an excellent addition to the show, and I know I have emailed you about this before, but I really wish you could make him a permanent fixture. I don't know that it would work permanently. I don't know. I mean, I love when George is here. I love when he drops in for the week or for a couple of days, whatever, but what do you think of him on a regular basis? Well, maybe it would work. Who knows? I don't know. Everyone loves it.
It is well loved and no complaints so far, so I don't know.
Yes.
George does add an interesting dynamic.
Right. So anyway, we love George, and I agree. He's great. And regardless of whether we think he should be here every day or every other day, I mean, I
doubt
George.
we could get him every day. He's so busy with the Star Trek stuff.
Star Trek, he's got a bank. Guy owns a bank.
Yeah, he rushed out of here for a bank meeting.
Yeah. So it's great. Whenever we can get him, we get him, and want to thank him for coming in and doing the show. Love the guy.
Our resident banker.
Yeah. And Artie gets all pumped up from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Pumped up.
Pumped up. Artie loves him.
Are you interested in a new game that's worked on? I thought it was sort of interesting. It's called What George Takei is Annoyed By Involving Us. In other words, what annoys George Takei about us? And it's you and Robin.
All right, I'll play that
and
game.
Me and Artie and Fred.
All right, let's play. Bring in Sal, and if he's got such a game, I'll play it. Oh, there he is. There's Sal.
Can I play?
Sure. You absolutely can.
Cool.
Okay.
What annoys George about this caller?
In fact, I don't even know if he can win this game. I mean, what kind of game is this, Sal?
It's one thing that annoys George Takei most about the Fab Five.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It's Gary, Robin, Fred, Artie, and Howard.
We know who the Fab Five is around here.
My loins are girded.
I don't know what that means.
The first one is a Kvetchy, a chronic complainer. Wait a minute. I'll give you all five, and then you guys put them together.
Okay. Oh, wait. So you've asked George already. You're not explaining this properly.
Yes.
So he told you
He's found one annoyance about all five of you.
Okay, we're guessing.
Match the annoyances to the person.
Okay.
The first one is a Kvetchy, a chronic complainer.
That would be me.
The second one is an overly enthusiastic ass kisser.
That would be, let me think for a second, an overly enthusiastic ass kisser. No, it's
I'm not in the Fab
Five. Wow, go ahead. I don't even know who that would be.
Okay. The third one is a know-it-all.
That's Fred.
Robin.
Go ahead. Oh, Robin. Right.
Wait a minute. Okay. The fourth one is a cynic.
Cynic.
It's you or Artie?
I'm a cynic.
Okay, you're the cynic, Howard?
Well, maybe not. I could be annoying, too.
Yeah, you want to hear them all.
Well, Howard, I'm writing yours. You're just thinking out loud right now, okay?
Right, yeah.
And the fifth one, laughs with an open mouth.
Fred.
That's me.
Okay. I thought it was me.
All right, let me see.
I'm sure it's me. I doubt I'm not rude there.
Who laughs with a closed mouth?
Say them again so I can write them down.
Okay.
And
I'm writing them down so I can tell you who's right and wrong.
I need to think.
Okay,
Go
sure,
ahead. I
boss.
need to write down each one. Yeah.
Okay, stop being a chronic complainer.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first one is a Kvetchy, also known as a chronic complainer.
Chronic complainer.
I never heard of kvetch.
Kvetch. It's an Italian word. What's the matter with you?
It doesn't have a vowel, Jen. It can't be Italian.
Showbiz word.
It's actually a Yiddish word, kvetch.
I know.
That's Benji.
Okay, chronic complainer, number one. Number two, overly enthusiastic ass kisser.
Overly enthusiastic. All right, ass kisser. Go ahead.
Okay. Number three, a know-it-all.
A know-it-all. All right.
Number four, a cynic.
Go ahead.
And number five, laughs with an open mouth.
Doesn't
That's
everyone?
not quite fully descriptive.
Well, I had to omit some of it because it would be too much of a giveaway.
Oh, I see.
You had to omit some of it, not emit some of it. All right, here we go.
I don't know who any of these are.
All right,
No, I didn't.
Chronic complainer would be okay. Here, real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this.
Go ahead, Howard.
I would be a cynic.
Okay.
Although Artie's a cynic.
Wait, go down the line, Howard, please.
All right. Chronic complainer would be me.
Okay, next.
That's Howard. Overall ass kisser. Jeez. I'm going to say Gary. Okay. All right, let's see how good Mr. Takei's gaydar is.
All right.
All right.
Well, this is very simple. Here's Jose, Rich, and Chad. 3 gentlemen. One of them is gay. They all claim to be straight for this game. You got to pick out the gay dude.
All right, I say all of them. Now.
You say all of them are gay? And by the way, thank you guys for appearing in this segment. Most guys we asked bowed out because they didn't want to be accused of being...
They were not ready for this.
That's right. All right. Let's first say hello to Jose. Jose, say hi to not only the audience, but Mr. George Takei, who's going to figure out if you're gay or not, okay?
What's up, y'all? What's up, Howard? Good morning. Hey, now.
Now, I don't know if you're gay or not. I'm looking at you. The first thing I notice is you're heavily tattooed, and the second thing I notice is I think you tweeze your eyebrows. Is that correct? Do you do that?
Wow, dude, that was quick. Yeah, I do. Well, yes, I do. I actually went waxing a few years ago because my hairstylist was like, your eyebrows are horrible. There was like a unibrow, and she started waxing me, and then I just became good at plucking, so I do it a couple times.
I got to tell you, if you ain't gay, then I'm completely... My gaydar's going insane.
No, dude, it's keeping it
Game
clean.
over, brother.
Keeping it clean. I host a TV show, so it's like I had to start doing that.
What TV show do you host?
It's called Latin Nation. It's a syndicated Latino news magazine show, but it's in English.
All right, so you're a television performer. That's why you wax and groom your eyebrows.
Sort of, and then, friends started saying, hey, you might look better if you start doing these type of things.
I see.
Very definitely a metrosexual.
Your tattoo.
Well, what is that, George? Sorry.
He's got a tattoo on his arm.
Oh, yeah, I have many tattoos. It's all it's covering both arms.
And what does it say?
Oh, my.
Well, what are the sides?
Talk into the microphone, George. I'm missing you.
I am.
Are you?
What's going on there?
I do.
All right.
Am I not on? You're
there
on.
you go.
Actually, George, this is all Azteca tattoos.
Azteca?
Yeah, it's actually a lot of stuff in the Museum of Mexico and stuff that my tattoo artists interpreted and sort of put on me.
Interpreted?
Interpreted.
Is that a word? I don't know. I'm making stuff up here.
He must be nervous in your presence, George.
Well, dude,
George.
yeah, of course, man.
George, okay.
You look great.
All right, that's straight man number one.
There were a couple of hints. He plucks his eyebrows, he goes to museums, a whole bunch of things.
I have some more hints, too. You guys want some more?
And he has a stylist.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I hang out with probably my hairstylist and my pot dealer the most. And I also have my own makeup bag.
Oh.
And I actually, I've known Richard, sort of, and I've given him fashion advice.
All right.
So a lot of information there.
All right. Well, Rich, you claim you're straight, and you look kind of straight to me. I don't detect any shaving of the eyebrows or anything like that.
I tweeze them a little bit. I clean them up.
All right. So you're metrosexual, maybe, and that you claim that you're a straight man.
Correct.
George, you getting a vibe off this guy?
I am.
Thank you, George.
You're a very good-looking young guy.
Do you carry a Merce?
No, I don't carry a Merce.
Right. Let me ask you.
I don't have a makeup bag either.
Jose, do you carry a Merce?
Yes, I have a really nice, outstanding, fucking beautiful Merce.
You do?
Chicks, dudes, love it.
Is it, you have the little rhinestones on it? Or?
No, there's no rhinestones. There's actual pennies and stuff on it. It's like a really cool strap. I'll show you guys one of these days.
All right, very good. Okay, so Rich, you claim to be straight. Jose claims to be straight. Let me meet number 3.
Wait, let me ask Rich.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you work out?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. Like 3 times a week for a half hour downstairs when I'm not on the air.
Do you run?
I don't run.
You don't run?
No, I don't run.
All right.
Now, how would that help you tell if he's gay?
Right. Well, there's a lot of gay guys at the gym.
Oh, yes, of course there are. That's why I asked.
I see.
Any of you runners?
No.
All right, let's go to Chad.
Only when being chased.
You're a runner in the chase. Chad, you're number 3. You claim to be straight. You look straight to me. I mean, my gaydar tells me that Jose is the gay man. We'll let George decide.
Very obvious.
Number 3, Chad, you say you're straight.
Yes, sir.
Is there any vibe here, George, that you're getting off this gentleman? What do you think?
Not much, but let's hear.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Yeah, tell us, what do you do for a living, and tell us about your life.
I'm a bartender at a restaurant on the Upper East Side.
I hear a little lisp. Okay, that's good.
A little bit.
A little bit of a lisp.
What's your favorite drink to mix?
Favorite drink to mix? The easy ones, beer.
Okay.
Not cosmopolitan.
Why is beer your favorite?
Because it's easy.
And why?
I'll get tipped for it.
Does anyone say you talk with a lisp a little bit?
No, I saw his boyfriend.
I have one. Can we all play in the 20 questions?
Sure.
That might give George a little help. Number 2.
Yeah.
Do you like to get fucked in the ass?
What's number 3's favorite TV show?
Well, what was your favorite? Do you like Broadway shows?
I've been to a couple.
Do you like them? What did you think of Lieutenant of Ishmore?
Lieutenant of Ishmore?
I did not see that.
What's the two that you saw?
I saw Phantom when I was like, I don't know, 12 with my parents.
Oh, somebody dragged you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think I saw The King and I also.
What kind of music do you like?
I like all kinds of music. I listen to a lot of like classic rock, like Beatles.
He might be gay.
I was going to say, Howard, the longer he talks, the gayer he gets.
Yeah. I think it's between Jose and Richard.
What's your stand on Barbara Streisand?
I hate her.
Jose, what about you?
The only play I went to was actually the Marijuana Logs when Tommy Chong was the guest host on it. It was very, very beautiful.
Well, one thing is sure, you're way into pot, that's for sure. What about you, Richard? Richard, what about you?
I've seen a lot of plays. I've pretty much seen every show, to be honest.
What's your favorite musical?
Probably Wicked.
Really?
Wicked.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a homo.
Either that or a 13-year-old girl.
I like corny music, though. That's the thing.
I got to go back and see Wicked again. My 13-year-old daughter wants me to take her yet again. I'm like, I don't know if I can sit through that thing again.
Oh, stop it. Wicked is wonderful.
I love it, but I saw it once. I don't want to sit there twice.
I just went to Rent again. You can do it.
I'm going to do Chorus Line this afternoon.
You're going to do it? No.
I'm going to see it.
All right, George. I want it right now.
In my neighborhood, they're all gay.
All right, George, let's go. Jose, Richard, Chad. Number 1, 2, or 3. Who's gay?
I think it's Richard.
Richard. Number 2. I disagree with you.
That's incredible gay talk.
I'm going to say it's Chad number 3, but let's find out. And Jose, you seem the most gay out of all these guys. But that's
too obvious.
Too obvious. Okay.
He's trying too hard.
Who is the real gay man? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? It's number 3. I know it. Really? I said.
The bartender.
I know it. I heard the lisp.
And you know what, Robin? I've got a Barbara Streisand T-shirt on underneath. I needed a little security blanket, too. So.
You know what? I have to say, George.
Thank you very much.
George is one of the most entertainingly lovable, gullible guys ever. How in the fuck did you not know the third guy was? I mean, that is the gayest lisp I've ever heard of.
Absolutely.
And I have seen the Lieutenant of Ishmore and every other thing I've
You have seen it. But how you lied to us?
I did.
Okay.
I couldn't say I liked everything.
Oh,
all the
well.
musicals.
You did see Ishmore.
And my entire CD collection is show tunes and Streisand.
Yes.
Oh, but you didn't tell us that.
But George, he's trying to fool you.
Yes.
If he told you that, you'd know.
Even with him fooling.
I got had here again.
I mean, I knew right away. I've never met these guys.
Well, I knew it wasn't Jose because he's too obvious.
Well, Jose's going to come out of the closet one of these days.
But Jose's, how is that guy not obvious? How did you think Jose was gayer than him?
Oh, guys, thank you very much.
They want to just give Jose and everybody wants to give a quick plug because they all work here.
All right, go ahead, Jose.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Is this my time to do it right now?
Come on, brother.
Just wanted to say I've been here for 6.5 years, Howard. I was one of the first DJs on Sirius. I've been emailing Gary. I'm such a part of this family here, and I ooze this shit every single day of my life. I'm 30 yards away from you, brother, right through these walls.
Jose is a real good guy, Howard.
Howard, he says he stares at the door all day, wondering what goes on the other side. He wrote a top 10 list of why he should be part of the show, but I'm really just letting him plug.
What channel are you working on?
I'm the program director, and thanks for the plugs, everybody. Richard, for Heart Attack, Series 27, and Octane, Series 20, two very popular stations here at the company. And
I listen to Octane all the time.
Thanks, dude. Yeah. I was actually a spokesman for the company before you got here, because back in the day, it was just like...
He stole his gig.
Yeah, he stole my gig, dude.
Tell us why you want to
You never heard of the Jose effect?
Well, actually...
No, I haven't.
Actually, just really, I think the show would be really awesome if it had more musical programming or musical Sirius people here on board. Sort of spread the love with the family here at Sirius.
But don't we have that on every channel? Why not have something different on this channel?
I think I can be a nice bridge, nice liaison to the music channels here, sort of a dude that comes on that provides...
Jose, you're smoking too much pot.
I love feet. I want to suck feet. I want to get squirted on, gushed on. I make awesome tacos. I made the whole staff here 28 tacos.
That's nice.
Arizona Mexican tacos.
That's great.
I'm actually a metal expert. I'm Mexican American from the border of Arizona.
Well,
I can bring a Latino twist, West Coast.
That.
Equal opportunity. Equal opportunity. The brown factor. We got to throw it in there. I have a huge list here, dude. I went to grad school.
I think that's enough. I zoned out after the first suggestion.
It's just like I love this show. I love you guys so much. I just want to be. I want you guys to use and abuse me. Use me for my skin color, man.
Howard, it was funny because all these guys canceled out of the game. Like 5 people that want to be part of it. He spent 10 minutes yesterday thanking me for letting him in the game.
Of course, it's just a game. Number 2,
but
go ahead.
You know what you could do? You could refer Jose to Fred.
Yes.
That'll take care of it.
Yeah, Fred will work on you. Number 2, go ahead.
Yeah, I do 2 shows here on Sirius. I do the morning show on Hits 1.
All right, great. Love Hits 1.
Oh, I've listened to you.
Yeah, Rich Davis. That's me.
All right.
Oh, you work with Covino.
Yeah, me and Covino do the Maxim Afternoon show. Covino and Rich. So you guys got to check. Covino is going to be here, but he's really gay.
Is that right?
No.
He's not gay.
No, Covino's not gay. Covino's from my hometown. Watch it.
Yeah, a lot of your staff comes and hangs out on our show in the afternoon once in a while.
And
Richard, you should be gay.
Well, you
consider that?
You like
it?
I think George based this on who he wants to fuck.
I think so, too. He was smitten.
I think Jose should be gay, too.
George, you missed the game. Let's go over to Chad. Chad, you are gay. And where do you work?
Well, I work at a restaurant on the Upper East Side, but that's part-time. I also work in a casting office to cast actors for a regional theater across the country.
Of course you do.
Did not want to say that.
All right.
Well,
hey, Howard,
I got to get to know you.
So we have another game if you want to do another game.
Yeah,
we have another set of 3.
Round.
You want another round?
Yeah. Like, give George a chance.
I think we had enough.
Now that George understands the game.
I think it's fun.
I loved it.
All right, okay, one more round. Guys, thank you, Chad. Thank you, Jose and Rich. All right, let's see how you do this time. Here's 3 new guys. I'll play the game real quick.
But George, you have to just guess, not based on what they're saying.
All right. You got to pick out...
Just by the appearance.
They're trying to fool you.
Or anything, an inflection, something.
I picked out the guy even though he was trying to act straight. All right, we got 3 guys here. You've got Brad, James, and Jimmy. Brad, hello.
How are you?
Okay, now you have a deep voice. You seem very, very manly. You dress nicely. I mean, you got the jeans and the shirt out of the pants.
You're clean cut.
Only a gay man would know to wear the shirt out of the pants.
And the cowboy boots, of course.
And the cowboy boots. And do you work here at Sirius?
Yes, I do. Work on your channel. Used to work for Martha Stewart, though.
You did?
Yes.
And what are you, an announcer?
No. I have no personality whatsoever, so I work behind the scenes.
You don't use your voice professionally? I mean, you've got that...
You should.
Don't you think you should with the big, deep voice?
Hey, if we can find me an agent, we'll think about it.
What about saying something like this? Coming at you, we've got some great music coming up. Here's Jimi Hendrix.
Coming at you, we got some great music coming up. We got Jimi Hendrix.
That's great.
That works out pretty well. Yeah.
So you say you're totally straight. You have a girlfriend?
No, I do not. I am dating.
And George, what do you think? Anything?
Let me
he wants to see everybody.
I thought he wanted me to turn around or something.
Let's go to James. James, you look straight as can be to me. Or you got the shirt tucked in, and you got the you just look like a regular guy.
What does he do?
I work in production.
You work in production?
Yeah, the talk side of production, on the other side.
On the other side of the building?
Yeah.
And do you shave your balls?
You're on the Howard Stern show. I have in the past, yeah.
Really? You shaved your balls?
Yeah.
Why, you have a girlfriend?
No, not right now.
You don't have a girlfriend. So why are you shaving your balls? Why bother?
Because,
just to see what it looks like?
No,
is it fun?
It's more comfortable. You sweat less.
Yeah.
Could it be because you're gay?
I got a feeling you might be gay, believe it or not. Maybe. We'll find out. You're shaving your balls. I shave my balls, but I'm so straight, it's ridiculous.
So what are you going to do?
But I got a girlfriend.
Oh, that's true.
I got to keep the balls shaved.
You shave them for her?
I shave them for her. Although I'm thinking of growing the hair back, I don't want her to see the liver spots on my balls.
Are you getting liver spots?
No, I'm just kidding. Are you kidding me? I look terrific. I'm young looking. Have you guys? I don't even color my hair. People think I dyed my hair. Is it going gray
down there?
No, I'm jet black. Jet black. What about you?
Let's see.
When I turned 50, I was alarmed because that's where I found out that I'm turning 50.
You had gray down there.
Oh, yes.
Do you shave it all off now?
Oh, no.
You keep it there.
You just went gray.
I
sure it was
nature.
I have jet black, thick bush, natural, and my hair is natural as well.
I believe that's
mine.
why.
Yeah, well, you got gray in it, though.
But I believe that's why you're shaving, to avoid seeing gray down.
No, I'm telling you, I got no gray down.
Now, would you dye it, though, if you saw that it was going gray? That's the real question.
My pubes?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I might have to go. You know what I do? I shave it real close so that you couldn't really tell what was going on. Yeah, I don't want any signs of age, I mean, I got enough of them. You know, or either that or I put a blindfold on Beth.
It's a natural process. Go with it.
Please, George. I'm with a girl. You can explain that to a guy.
He's going to make Beth go blind.
Yeah.
You're old. Not that you're old, but you're certainly...
I'm old.
You're old enough to be a grandfather now. If that happened, would that freak you out?
If I was a grandfather, I wouldn't admit to it.
What do you mean
are old enough to be a grandfather.
Your daughter's old enough to have a child.
No, they're not. No, they're really not.
If you had started sooner, you'd have been...
Your daughter's 25, right?
I don't care. I would not even want to know about it.
Would you let a kid call you grandpa?
No.
You wouldn't
not. Absolutely not.
What would a child call you?
Howard Stern.
Your daughter's not 25. Don't put her
She's 23.
Yeah.
Damn right you're sorry. Everybody makes me old. I'm young.
But she could have had a child by now.
She could have. She knows not to. All right, number 3. What about you? Let me hear you talk a little bit.
Jimmy. Jimmy's the name.
I know Jimmy. And Jimmy...
he's Artie's assistant, isn't he?
Yeah. Are you
kind of, yeah.
Are you as gay as can be?
No.
You're straight.
Last time I checked, I wasn't.
You're 100% straight.
Yeah.
You've never been with a man?
Never.
You have a girlfriend?
Yes.
You do. Do you shave your balls?
No, I don't have to.
Right. Do you carry a purse?
Yes.
You do?
Yep.
You have a merce?
I do.
It's a bag?
Yep.
Where'd you get it?
I got it for free at Lord & Taylor. It's a Toomey bag. They forgot to ring it up, and I just beeline for the door, and it's...
Oh, my God.
Wow, admitting to robbing a store.
I'm employing a gay thief.
Would Artie have a gay assistant? I believe so.
But, to take care of Artie. Wow.
Yeah.
You catching a vibe here?
Caregivers.
He tells me whether or not I match.
Are you catching a vibe?
Mostly you don't.
Are you catching a vibe here?
Yes, I am.
You are. Who is
or
gay?
maybe it's a desire.
I got to tell you something. I am unclear who's gay. I'm going to tell you who I think.
Yes.
I think number 1 is gay. That would be Brad. I think he looks gay to me. He looks like a handsome gay boy.
I agree with you.
You agree?
I agree.
All right. Let's find out if we're right. Robin, what do you think?
I think you're right, number 1.
What do you think, Artie?
I think, I guess I would know. I have an advantage, right?
Well, in 1 at least.
My assistant is a gay guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Are you?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Come on, Jim. Tell him. Jim. He's a fucking fag.
Jim's real name is Teddy Howard. That's actually Teddy.
I know.
Ted the fag.
Thank you. Brad, are you the gay man?
No, I'm straight.
You're It's number 2.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah,
well, I got good vibes from you, too.
Did you now?
When you said you shaved your balls, I had a feeling.
Yeah, well, I was thinking to myself, I just couldn't let that go. I mean, the opportunity to say that I shaved my balls in the Howard Stern show, come on.
I can tell you something. Nobody would know you're gay. You don't give up.
That's why I'm here. Everyone didn't know until I had to tell everyone. So
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you're a little bit chubby, which you figure gay guy, keep himself in shape and the whole thing.
Like
this one over here.
And he's tucked in the shirt and everything.
We've been working on number 1 for a while, and it's just not working.
And you can't get a man?
Not just yet, no.
Wow. Can't believe it.
You're not a virgin.
No.
You got anybody for him, George?
Help me out.
Hook him up.
Yeah, you're here, right?
Yeah.
In New York? I could find somebody for you in Los Angeles. You'll have to come out there.
Dude, go to a chorus line today with George. Throw a rock into the audience. Whoever you hit, just start fucking.
But I'm going with someone
Broadway.
Your parents know you're gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told them?
Totally.
Were they like freaked out?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it took them a while to get, come.
How long ago was that?
When I was 17.
And you're
I'm 25 now.
Yeah. George took a long time to come out. You wasted your whole life.
Well, I envy him. He's of another generation altogether.
Right. They come right out of the closet. They come screaming out.
They walk out of the womb and come out of the closet.
Basically, yeah.
I'm telling you, teenagers today.
Yeah.
Did you try banging a chick before you decided you were gay?
No. It's like poison.
No way.
No.
You knew.
Yeah.
You knew.
Did you used to hang posters on your wall of guys?
No, not of guys.
Girls?
No.
Of what?
Like music and stuff. I'm a musician.
Oh, I see. But you never hung posters on your wall of like Brad Pitt or growing up?
No.
But what was
But at least you were able to be honest with yourself.
Was a picture of a violin? What do you mean music?
Like
guy or girl?
Smashing Pumpkins or back in the 90s.
When did you start blowing your friends?
In college.
In college?
Yeah.
What about like when you were 13?
A little bit in high school. No.
It's hard to find some guys.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York, like 4 hours north of here.
Yeah, they'll string you up out there.
Yeah, really.
Good thing you're here in Manhattan. Well, I want to thank the three of you, Brad, James, and Jimmy, of course, or whoever.
Teddy. Can we end this? Ted has to go get all your Christmas gifts.
Hey, get to work.
And Teddy, you are straight.
Yeah.
I thought so.
I'm sorry, George.
How'd you do the Playboy Mansion when Artie took you?
I did all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was hanging out with the monkeys.
He behaved himself. He's got a girlfriend, but he was just looking around. To me, I got pissed off that he's got a girlfriend. I'm like, what the fuck are you coming here for?
Go? Yeah.
You should have brought James with
check box. That's like every man's, you got to check that off. It's been done.
We got to see the
show. Check. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so what we learned from this experiment is that George Takei has no gaydar.
Right. How did you manage, George?
I have desires, but, it doesn't usually... It's not fulfilled.
Let's see if we can pick out an Asian guy.
Thank you, guys. All right, those are the boys, and there you have it. Gay or Not Gay, the new hit game show with George Takei.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I didn't come out very young. I wasn't too good at picking them out.
Wow, didn't know that.
That would have been great if we just all agreed that Ted was the gay guy and just never said that.
I would believe that you could have a gay assistant.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, I think you're that kind of guy.
George, maybe you're straight. You can't even pick out...
Well, I had been, too.
Yeah, well...
If,
No, you were gay
woman
pretending to be straight.
It's a definition of straight.
Well...
But I was always me.
Well, I got to tell you something. What an exciting morning. Finding out that George Takei has no gaydar.
No gaydar. None.
Absolutely none.
I mean, that first one. That was like,
yeah, that was obvious to me, and I'm not good at that stuff. Hey, everybody. Artie and I just strategizing in here about the future of radio. You got to hear.
Have you guys figured out what's going to happen?
No. I have no idea.
Because I really would like to know.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. We got a busy show for you. I was surprised it made such big news in the newspaper, but Martha Stewart is stopping by today. Yeah, I want to talk to her. I get a lot of things to ask her.
Well, there's certain etiquette questions we can ask her today, too, about gift receiving and gift giving.
Right. Like, if somebody gives you a bad gift, should you put it in a wood chipper? We got the wood chipper over there. Hey-oh.
I don't think she's ever come across that.
No.
Oh, hey, George, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, put on George's mic.
Yeah, hey, George, what's up?
Good morning, good morning. We're talking about etiquette and good manners on the Howard Stern Show. This is impressive.
I bet you'll like to meet Martha Stewart. I bet you're a fan.
Indeed I am.
Right. George Takei, everybody, here with us today. Love having George Takei with us. He is our announcer. You want to do an announce? Are you prepared?
Well, Howard, for me, this has been an amazing year. And it began on your first day on Sirius Satellite Radio, which I was able to share with you. And here we are on the very last day of the year with you. And so I wanted to kind of summarize my year musically here.
Wow.
If I may.
Do you have a musical bed, or are you doing it a cappella?
I'm doing it a cappella.
All right, go ahead. I'm honored.
Here we go.
I'm honored, I'm saying.
Thanks for the memory of laughter and the joking. A visit to the Guggenheim with my cuddly muffin. I thank you, Artie. And thanks for the memory of one classy lady in a sea of raunchiness, laughing through it all so graceful, dear Robin. And thanks for the memory of Arnold Schwarzenegger, promising wedded bliss for lesbians and gays. I'm hoping, still am. And thanks for the memory of two playful boyfriends, Sal and Richard Christie, dangling full Monty here. Oh my, oh my. And thanks for the memory of Howard Not So Stern, opening blouses, opening zippers, opening eyes and minds. I love you, Howard.
Wow.
Aren't you a firecracker? You really are gay, aren't you? You're not kidding around.
It's someone that's attractive, intelligent, all that gets love Autumn.
As our friend the Reverend Bob Levy says in his act, if George isn't gay, he's on the waiting list.
Thank you, George. That was very beautiful.
Howard.
Thank you. Well, we were treated to a song from Mr. George Takei, one of our country's leading actors.
What a special treat.
That's right. Well, thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure having you here, and we have a whole show to get through together, so let's begin. As a matter of fact, let's start with the wrap-up show from yesterday. Guess who made a special appearance on the wrap-up show yesterday, and I met him.
I met him. I don't know his... I didn't know he was appearing on the wrap-up show.
Brad, who is George's 20-year lover.
Yes.
He got roped in by John Hine.
Yeah, Brad won't come on my show, but he will go on the wrap-up show.
He was terrified about coming here, but once he got here and met all of you, I mean, he's a big fan of our household.
Right.
And he was on cloud 9. He was just ecstatic.
Then why is he so afraid?
Because he's a very private and basically a very shy guy.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to hear a little bit of Brad, if you missed it on the wrap-up show, here he is. This is Brad coming on the wrap-up show, and everyone's surprised to see him.
And, George, you've brought a special guest into the wrap-up show?
Yes, my other half. This is Brad Altman.
How are you, Brad?
I'm great, but since this is one of the last shows of 2006, I thought I should do the reveal now, which is that George Takei is actually straight, which is why the
And you love when he makes a joke. You are very much in love.
Oh, I'm a lucky guy.
I can see you want him to do well on the show. You want him. Yes, I see what's going on. You're really selling it. Here is Brad admitting that he is a super fan of the Howard Stern show.
George didn't get up every morning at 3 a.m. like I did for years with terrestrial radio on Howard and listen on my earphones while I was lying in bed with George Takei.
He's got these earphones on in bed,
During the work week, he would try to get some action going early in the morning. And I kept saying, let's do appointment 6 on Sundays only, because I didn't want to disturb first-run Howard Stern.
Oh, wow. You've been the problem for us.
Right. I'm ruining your sex life.
We're the reason you only got it on Sunday. Man.
This is Brad is jealous of Artie a little bit.
I bet.
Now, Brad, is there any jealousy between George's relationship with Artie and their sort of bond that has blossomed over this past year?
I resent Artie. He has a lot of intimate time with George on the show. So.
Not that intimate. Well, what? What?
Uh-oh.
What?
Don't you two start quibbling in here.
Such a married couple.
I tell you.
I was thinking about this, like, all joking aside, this year, me and George have sat here together a bunch of times. We've sung to each other.
Yes.
Right.
We went to the Guggenheim. We did the Shatner roast together in L.A. We spent the whole night. Like, I totally have a new show business friend.
Spent the whole night.
Absolutely.
What night are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it's Shatner.
I see.
You're taking it too far into the night.
Well, you know, like everything personal.
George doesn't want it out there that he spent the night with you.
I mean, we didn't fuck.
Well, that's what I think he's afraid of that too. He doesn't need that.
I don't think
that's listening,
Nobody from my world believed we fucked, George, and I guarantee no one from your world believes it.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Brad and George finally start to get into. They sound like an old married couple. Things get uncomfortable.
Really?
Did you know that George was such an expert at basketball? He won the contest here.
George, we've been together 20 years next March. He's always been very athletic. I'm not really surprised. He's pretty strong, too. In fact, George, why don't you take off your shirt? He has a great body.
This is radio, not TV.
But people can fantasize.
Oh, well, so that's why we're on radio.
I'm starting to feel creepy in here watching this guy.
That's George and Brad catching up for 20 years of being jammed in the closet. Now they're out and having a party.
I'm feeling like it's Sunday. Let's go to Sunday.
Gary hit it on the head. Yeah, those two have been jammed up in the closet so long, they're coming out screaming.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, but
Billboards.
Yes, but there they are, Brad and George, the hot couple of Sirius Satellite Radio. And congratulations on that beautiful song you just did. I can tell you put a lot of work into it.
I did indeed.
I would imagine it took you a whole 5 minutes.
It's been a fantastic year, though.
Well, genius doesn't necessarily take a long time.
That's right, Robin.